The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
JJ, Jeff, you want to kick this thing off? Because I'm still trying to process everything here.
Yeah, it's like,
who wants to go first?
Who wants to go first?
Well,
Come on in. It's open mic night with your host.
you could maybe say there's really 4 topics, but it's split into 6.
The Renegade, JJ Williams.
The Sammy and Eddie Kingston thing, which one's the better smelling turd?
And his panel of co-hosts.
I am founder. We'll call me that for today since we're going with the Jeff Jarrett love theme here this week, according to JJ.
The West Coast Professor, Jeff Meacham.
Karma is karma is karma.
That's professional wrestling! Damn it!
The Simple Man, Noah Foster.
It's showtime! Yeah! How you doing, JJ? How you doing, Jeff?
James.
Yeah.
And the He-Man, James Hebert.
Imagine Bill Burr, Joe Rogan, Paul White, the Baldies. There you go. It sells
Oh,
itself.
God.
Get in there.
Short his ass and shit the bed.
He's not Amber Heard.
Give it time, JJ. Give it time.
Now, I'm sure Jeff has some stuff that
Dumb move. Just don't pull this bullshit again. You get one.
Tony needs to stop caring about the ratings.
Bradshaw said as long as the ads are in place, we're not going to lose that third hour.
Ring of Honor does not have to be AEW Live. They don't necessarily have to coexist with each other. We kind of saw that tonight to a degree.
Along with a panel of guests.
He is no longer glorious. Don't you bring that up. You want me to rant about what my NXT used to... No, we are done here for the night. I swear, James.
Because you never know who may show up for open mic night.
I leave our company in the capable hands of an extraordinary group of superstars, employees, and executives.
The first thing that came to my mind was, it's about damn time.
Amen.
I literally touched everybody in the state's trash. So it's horrible, you guys.
Peyton's new thing is Dennis the Menace, but it's funny because she calls it Dentist the Medicine. And
That's great.
When Elliot Taylor came out and did Born for Greatness live, I was popping my pussy, having a great time. I didn't care. I was having so much fun.
Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Fuck Bill Belichick.
Go there. How to do the friggin' football thing. We ended on wrestling, and then you bring in that shit. Then just how the thing goes off the damn rails. Brilliant. Bloody brilliant.
We're here.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome once again to the Saturday night shenanigans that are open mic night. I, of course, am your host and moderator, the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. Hope everyone is having a fantastic Saturday evening. Let's go ahead and begin to bring the panel of misfits in. First of all, the man whose name is generally on the marquee, but it's not because we have this QR code, and he will explain that to you, of course. Jeff Meacham is here.
Hey, how we doing on a Saturday, everybody? Good to see everybody. And I know you guys saw me last night. Some of you did anyway, so thank you for tuning in to the update. I know we got watched because I got some feedback from it. So, yeah, just I mentioned it really quickly, but had a friend of the family unexpectedly pass away not too many years after his father did. So we're definitely looking to help support Mike's family in this time of tragedy. So please donate if you can. If you can't, the code's there. You can share the code and share the link with everybody. The link's in the description for the show. Yeah, that's it's really all there is to it. It's Matthew, I wish we could get spicy because that way I could get the rest of this out of me. I've had the flu all week on top of it, so the GoFundMe should be for a freaking another shot of Theraflu. Good Lord, man, that's been my friend. I'll tell you that right now. Theraflu is beautiful. So yeah, that's where we're at on that. I think they're close to halfway there. So they're living on that prayer, as the great Bon Jovi would say.
Yes. All right. Well, good to have you there. Let's go ahead and take that
Good to be
down.
had.
Let's go ahead and take that down just for right now because we want to see how it looks with everyone in here, and that we have to be readjusted. So
that's true. That's true.
Coming in next is one of the core four, bringing in James Hebert. What's going on, good sir? Glad you're able to take time out of your production and editing schedule to join us again this evening.
I am doing lots of work, but it is becoming very much worth it. So had a day to myself for a change. Ended up having some banquet chicken, and I'm ready to go and talk some wrestling. So there you go.
That's awesome.
You were talking off air. Banquet chicken did come in the clutch, man. If JJ and I had not been committed to the top ramen and crystal light diet for Christmas to get the kids to get Christmas that year, banquet I think would have come in handy too, Jay. Banquet TV dinners were $1, and they hit the spot.
Yeah, unfortunately, they ain't $1.
Well, no.
Oh no.
No.
I know that for a fact.
No. While everything else has gone up in price, I think like top ramen has gone down in price somehow.
No, well, that's because top ramen is what it is. No, no shut on top ramen. Hey, you know what? If you're good with having a high sodium count the rest of your days, top ramen's the way to go, brother. I'll tell you what.
hey, you know what? If you eat top ramen, you can be the next YouTube turned musician, right, Joji?
Shit.
There you go. Yes. Happy birthday to Denise Salcedo.
Yes.
Yeah.
We would love to get her on an episode of Open Mic Night sometime, but
absolutely.
I feel like she is the hardest working woman on YouTube. While we bring in probably the hardest working man on YouTube, and especially coming up this next week, you figure shows, multiple channels.
Yes.
Noah Foster is here.
Welcome,
what is
Noah.
Going on, good sir?
It's too hot, too early here in the Midwest, and everything is expensive. This economy sucks, and I'm
yes, yeah, pretty much.
You got some of that Cali weather, man.
Yeah, too soon here in the Midwest. Too soon. Damn it.
It's awful.
Anyway, happy birthday.
Hey, we got the rain. We got the freaking monsoon weather from Cali, by the way.
There's been another day as well. We finally got our grass cut. That being said, yes, happy birthday, Denise, and good to see you guys as always. Hello again, everybody. Hey.
All right. Now bringing in a man you can see every Tuesday talking about all things sports. Our resident statistician, Stat Boy Mike, in the house. What is up, brother?
Boy, oh boy, oh, what a day it has been. What a week it has been. I'm not going to bore everybody with the details tonight. I'll do that on Tuesday. But
that's right.
All I'm gonna throw out there for a little appetizer is he met the man who tomorrow, May 19th, is an important day in his history today.
Ooh, May 19th. Very dangerous. But I'm ready to go. Let's do it. It's Open Mic Night, bitch.
Yes. I actually like that. That might have to be part of the new intro. Clip that pice there, James.
There you go.
I forgot about the Brandy thing, man. We should have just given credit to Brandy. That way we could get him, on the good side of Cody. Because
I saw that. They posted it to you guys.
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Look it in there somehow.
Yeah. That came from a Dynamite promo, by the way.
All right. Hey, either way, we'll work it.
Last but not least, at least for now,
yes,
is the man known the internet over as Mr. Reliable. Reliable.
Let's see here.
What is
Hello.
up, Walter?
Nothing much. Doing well. I've arrived, so I guess all that's left is to raise hell and then leave.
There
you go.
Oh, sorry, just having issues here. So, internet's always an issue, especially when, for some reason, when I get sick, the internet just kind of has sympathy pains with me.
Internet go boo boo.
Yeah, they have big time.
Especially when you deal with a monopoly.
You ain't cats with me.
Do not respond to every chat, stat boy. Do not respond to every. Nope.
All right. Before this thing goes off the rails, everybody calm down, take a chill pill. JJ, begin control your show. Why don't you go over the rules of etiquette to the chat and get this thing going with?
There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Noah.
Well, seems like first I got to go over the rules of etiquette to the panelists.
Seriously.
Once again, Scat Boy, and I know you've been told multiple Tuesdays on your own show, we don't usually address comments that don't have a super chat attached. If you have a question that you would like answered by the panel, if you have a topic suggestion that you would like us to discuss, 'tis better to super chat. And as the simple man likes to say, it is as simple as that.
'Tis better to super chat and get shot down like an idiot than to not super chat and get busted balls as well.
That's right.
Or some Shakespearean like that.
Shakespeare more often rhymed. That didn't rhyme, but I admire your poetic etiquette, Jeff.
Poetic etiquette.
Not so much. I ain't got any left.
Check, please.
And apparently Greg Cherry has a massive guest coming to the brand next month. That's all he can say. Say no more. He can say no more.
That's it.
And if you know, you know. And if you don't, go watch the Beatles and help. Do some homework, bro.
Yeah, that's right. Dig a little deeper than the Disney Plus offering. They actually have that, and they have the one on there, but not the right one.
There you go. And if you don't do your homework, what are you, a fucking piece of shit?
That's right.
That's right. Goddamn, we miss him. Anyway.
Yeah, true.
All right. So let's go ahead and get started with the topics at hand for today.
Yes,
Noah is actually going to lead things on the first topic.
Yes.
Hopefully he did his research.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently this week, Pro Wrestling Noah appointed Keiji Muto as their newest scout. And the long and the short of it is that in his initial outing press conference after being appointed, he said that he's not just going to be scouting Japan anymore for the top talent. He's going to be scouting worldwide. And he wants to work to strengthen the relationship with WWE. That's about all I know. Figured we would throw to Noah to talk about Noah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the first time this has been brought up as far as, WWE and Noah or Noah trying to work with other wrestling promotions. I mean, if you look at New Japan Pro Wrestling and Impact Wrestling, Pro Wrestling Noah has worked with those. Timothy Thatcher, of course, has worked with AEW. Timothy Thatcher formerly involved in WWE. But the thing here is Keiji Muto, the wrestling genius, of course, now retired, though his daughter, Great Sakuya, is, of course, doing kabuki-esque things on, Monday Magic, if you watch that. Anyway, arigato, JJ. So, yeah, it's basically, strengthening the outlook of professional wrestling and wrestling relationships, where some of these companies in Japan, they're very private in what they believe their brand is and keeping its value. Hello, Rosario Gala. So it's interesting because Keiji Muto, of course, recently put into the WWE Hall of Fame, his alter ego, the Great Muta. But Keiji Muto is also one of those guys that can allow for global localization for WWE, where you really don't hear much about WWE exploring the Japanese market or Japanese territory. And with the fact that Rousey Ogawa, of course, has Julia, who might be NXT bound, it seems, And of course, Marigold, Rosie O'Gara's promotion, has been involved in Pro Wrestling Noah back on their last show, May 4th. It just feels like to me that WWE is trying to expand into the Japanese professional wrestling scene again. Of course, you all know from history a long time ago, it was All Japan Pro Wrestling they tried to exploit as part of their business relationships, and that fell flat. I don't know what they've done since Kazuhiko Nakajima and Charlie Dempsey for the Triple Crown. Kazuhiko no longer has that. But bottom line, it's global localization. It's that blueprint that Triple H wanted to do a long time ago when he only had NXT, and now he runs the entire WWE, which I will say has been a lot better. I find it interesting because I know there's definitely some Pro Wrestling Noah roots within some of the talent in WWE, and the expansion of the women's division also intrigues me because I know Rosie O'Gara, for example, he wants to use the likes of Kairi Hojo and Io Shirai, former daughters of Stardom, in his promotion. So it feels like to me that WWE, Marigold, and Pro Wrestling Noah might all try to come underneath the same umbrella. But I think Keiji Muto has a bigger vision than that as well, especially you saw the All Together show from New Japan Pro Wrestling. So again, it's very brave, but it's the same mission statement he tried to employ back in 2023. But now he can because he's the fragging president. So I'm curious to see where this goes, and maybe we'll finally see a different Forbidden Door finally open.
You kind of beat me to what I was going to go to. I see your hand, James, just a second. I wanted to just go ahead and address the elephant in the room here, and you kind of brought it up there at the end. Is this kind of a response? I wouldn't say retaliation, but a response to the New Japan AEW relationship.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
Go ahead, James. I saw your hand up.
So the thing with that, and this is what's actually confusing about everything, because and unfortunately, this is I didn't want you don't want this to be a factor, but sadly it is. Dipshit Tony likes to put his foot in his mouth, and the reason I bring up Tony and AEW is with obviously the New Japan and AEW partnership. There's also the partnership that New Japan has with Noah. I almost venture to think that if you not that Keiji Muto couldn't make it work politically, but if you work with the WWE, do you risk losing that working relationship with New Japan? Which one do you find more valuable?
Here's the thing, James. Here's the thing. Hi, Jeff. You got to consider this bigger than Noah. You know how WWE is merged with UFC now. They're TKO.
Yeah.
It's Cyberfight Incorporated, the parent company of Noah, that could be initiating this. And their newly appointed president, Yasukai Okamoto, he has also been involved in this introductory press conference in bringing Keiji Muto in as a talent scout. So this is bigger than just Noah. But to your point, the United Professional Wrestling Alliance of Asia with 8 different promotions. Yes, Noah is underneath that umbrella, but also is Stardom and also is DDT Pro. And of course, Stardom and DDT Pro do work with AEW. I just feel like we're just bringing down more gates than mending newer private ones in a different matter. But I see what you're saying. I'm just thinking bigger than just Pro Wrestling Noah. It's more than just Keiji Muto at the end of the day, folks, and Noah and WWE.
Well, I also bring this up because I feel like Keiji Muto, more than anybody, is on the side of we want everyone to get along and do the worldwide territory system. He's been wanting to do that all the way back when he was in All Japan. Hell, the whole reason Pro Wrestling Noah even formed is because he didn't like the carny bullshit that was going on in All Japan, so he fucked off with a bunch of top talent, and along with Mitsuharu Misawa leading the charge and creating Pro Wrestling Noah, which, by the way, still to this day has some of the greatest wrestling matches on the goddamn planet. Don't at me.
Congratulations, by the way, to Kato Kiyomiya once again becoming the global heavyweight crown champion again. Hopefully, he holds it longer this time. Damn.
Let's hope. But I agree with you in the bigger picture, but how many times have we already said that, and how many times has that already dropped the ball? We still have the
Vince
issue.
is not involved this time. It's strictly Triple H, and Nick Khan's the reason we have international PLEs. There's a reason why Backlash was so damn successful, the greatest success in WWE history.
Here's the other thing, though, with that, Noah. Vince might not be there anymore. He might not be preventing it, but Tony Khan sure as hell is preventing it with his foot in his mouth syndrome. And you also have the Mexican promotions that still kind of can't get along.
Well, WWE so far doesn't have a Mexican promotion partnership. What they've done with Latino World Order, Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio, when it's private, they're trying to do something with that. But to your point, again, Rousey Ogala left Stardom because he didn't want to expand with AEW. In fact, he almost didn't want to expand at all. He was being private, and some would say talent hoarding. There's a reason why there's certain people that are so loyal to him that went along with his new promotion, Julia being one of them.
Right. I mean, again, that's what I'm saying is like there's people that are kind of preventing it still because they still have that old mindset of every man for themselves instead of we can still be competitors and also work together, which is the healthier way to go about things. And in case you haven't noticed, the NFL is doing that right now with the UFL, and it's going to be producing a lot more goddamn athletes. So just saying, if Contact Sports is doing it, I don't know why we're not going in the same route, especially if you got WWE that's merging with the UFC and potential crossover potential. I'm sure they're going to be doing it with other wrestling promotions. They masterfully did it with the NFL better than freaking TK did, I'll tell you that right now. And, you know, meanwhile, you got CEOs that are, you know, so either they are so old school or they are so new school. And there's no in between.
Very much.
And by new school, I mean like Tony Khan new school, where he's just on the fucking message boards all day long type new school.
Oh, God.
So there's kind of that issue there. Otherwise, I'd be like, yes, you know, let's do that because that's another door that's breaking down. But with the way the egos kind of get in the way of shit, and we've seen that happen, the last 3 years now?
Yeah, give or take.
When it comes to this, like, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Well, here's the thing. We don't know anything about Akamoto's right now except his motives. And right now it feels like he wants to do other work with other promotions, WWE being at the top of his list, and he's going to try and utilize Keiji Muto towards that as a scouting advisor.
Right. So yeah.
We'll see.
Those are my thoughts and concerns, really. But otherwise, I think that's pretty cool that they're trying to strengthen relationships. I really like that Muto is trying to almost kind of gather a melting pot of some of the best in the world in Japan. I think that, you know, exactly what Noah's roots are is exactly how they started out, was get some of the best talent in the world to fight. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, again, I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Collaboration goes further than competition.
Yep.
I definitely agree with that. Jeff, what do you think about this? I mean, I know me, you, Mikey, probably Walter, have very limited knowledge in any of the Japanese
Well done.
wrestling and everything going on over there. But what are your thoughts on this?
I wonder how many people we lost during our Japanese professional wrestling chat.
Right.
We've actually gone up about 10 people.
Fan.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you're a fan of all things wrestling. Shout out to me.
No. That's exactly why you led this conversation off. First of all, formatting question. Are we talking about the streaming stuff in the main event, sir?
I believe I did put that in the chat as the main event. Yes.
Okay. So, sorry, I don't have the thing in front of me, and you know, flu-ridden brain. Okay, so I think a lot of the peripheral news we're seeing the last couple of weeks and the topics we're talking about are all going to tie into the main event topic tonight. So I'll save that part of it for then. But I don't think it's a a random act of chaos, if you will, that they're announcing that Muto is the scout. People, wrestling companies have scouts all the time. They have people all the time. Regal's been a notorious scout for years, decades now. It feels like.
Can you imagine Regal and Muto sitting next to each other at a show, scouting talent?
It's not too far out of the realm of possibility. It really isn't.
That sounds like the beginning of a joke.
If that random bit of happenstance were to happen in Reseda a decade ago, the entire wrestling world would have shit its pants. That's just the way it would have been. And honestly, as much as we know now, it still would be a what moment. So
yeah.
Accurate.
But again, it's not an accident that happened to be announced that it's Muto and not random Japanese stunt double number 432. It's a great freaking Muta, So I think this is definitely strategic on Pro Wrestling Noah's part and him saying flat out that he's looking at WWE, and wanting to collaborate with them. I am just not surprised. Will it have something to do with the relationship or slowly eroding the lack thereof between New Japan Stardom and AEW? Very likely. I think this Forbidden Door concept that Tony claims to have pioneered, which is a crock of shit, is definitely on the minds of the wrestling world. And I feel that James has a point to an extent of we actually could have a full-on Forbidden Door type show if certain people, not just Tony, by the way, would stop putting their foot in their mouth and their head in their ass, which is a very unique trick to attempt. I don't recommend it for the amateurs at home. Both foot in mouth and head up ass. That's a really weird configuration. If you can twist that much, good on you, brother. Call the circus.
If you're doing that type of yoga, DDP's pissed. I'm just saying.
Yeah, seriously, if you can trips like that, Dallas Page wants you to call him tomorrow. It's on a Sunday. You can call down to Georgia. Ain't shit going on there because Chick-fil-A is closed.
That's the only type of thing you can see in a Pixar cartoon, right, Elastigirl?
That's right.
Oh, shit.
That's right.
This is a really weird ass metaphor for saying don't be a social media twat.
I mean, it's if you can bend yourself to get into the social media twat, then good on you. Again, Dallas Page, call him tomorrow. There you go.
By the way, completely off topic. Fantastic Four is a part of Marvel, correct?
Correct.
How have we not gotten a freaking Incredibles and Fantastic Four crossover yet? I'm just saying.
Because they can't make a proper Fantastic Four movie, first of all. They've waited, like 62 at this point?
That's a fair point.
Okay, so now I pissed everybody off in the span of my part of the segment. We'll go ahead and keep going.
There are as many successful Fantastic Four movies as there are odd Star Trek movies.
Yeah, that's true.
Good reference.
Yeah, that's a great reference.
That inequality doesn't add up to me.
The only type of success the Thing ever had was a no DQ CAW cheap plug.
And that is valid as fuck.
It was only for a year, by the way.
That's right. Which makes the joke even better.
Yeah, exactly.
And now back to our regularly scheduled programming, Cyberfight and WWE.
It's again, I don't think it's a coincidence that it happened to be Muto, so I would be very surprised if this didn't lead to a more a broader working relationship going forward. Paul Levesque is not a dummy. Other than proper screening of people in France, apparently, at press conferences. So I really feel like we're going to see something more of this, and I hope it's for the betterment of the industry. People will go back and forth every week. Oh, it's everybody's tribalist. Everybody wants, one or the other, and it's like, dude, the guy in the guy in the lower corner here, the lower left corner, is like, no. I'm with him. Wrestling is what it's about. Doesn't matter if it's WWE, AEW, New Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, TNA, NWA, whatever. Just
DCW, Rev Pro.
As long as wrestling,
NXT.
As long as wrestling continues to survive and thrive like it is, I'm a happy ginger. Blue or not.
Let's also to add too. You mentioned ECW. Rumors about that circulating. It may come back. Rumors, by the way, rumors. And then you also, I mean, just a hypothetical that I'm going to pose out there. With the way everything's going on in combat sports lately, next thing you know, freaking TKO is going to announce that, hey, we're bringing Pride FC back. We're going to put that in.
There you go.
Fedor Emelianenko's coming back and better than ever.
All I'm going to say is this. If ECW comes back and Durag McMahon is not the inaugural champion, I'm not watching. Because what would be more ECW, old school, like the real ECW, than modern day Durag McMahon? You think about as controversial a figure as Vince is these days? Tell me that's not OG ECW.
Oh, geez. You know what, though? They never would do it, but I would love, I'm not even going to lie to you. I always thought Shane should have been the one to win the title. He makes sense with how much shit he's put his body through over the years. How did he not pitch himself as ECW champion?
That's a fair point, actually.
I don't know why he's never won that belt. And you know what? If they bring back ECW, first order of business, you give it to Dreamer, and then you have him lose it the night right of to fucking Shane McMahon. That's what you do.
As long as he doesn't tear his quad.
Let's hope.
Hey, Noah. Remember we were talking about Kijimuto being the scout? You remember?
Yeah, and then
I remember.
James went to Philadelphia, and JJ went to what was that year that I don't want to talk about. So yeah, Cyberfight, TKO, WWE Pro Wrestling Noah, Shinsuke Nakamura, Kijimuto, Paul Levesque, Akamoto. Okay, hey, maybe that means Backlash next year will be in Japan.
I got the Noah. All right, so whoever JD wants to do next.
Can you imagine that?
Stop that. What is wrong with you people?
What?
God damn. I thought it was just a flu. I'm like, am I reading that right? No, it actually is Matthew, no wonder you just want that trivia. You're a sick fuck.
I don't have the comments up in front of me because I'm working on actual stuff that actually is more, sane. So
all right. That does it.
I'm gonna read it then because he said, is it Durag Vince with the Gomez Adams facial hair?
All right. So when we take the long break to promote James's uncle's documentary, I'm going to make that picture a reality. We'll do that after the break. It'll be a thing.
Mike, okay. Mike or Walter, do either of you have anything you would like to add to this topic? Mike, I know you know very little about the Japan wrestling.
I'm pretty much good on this one. I mean, you guys covered it. I mean, they can say the word Japan, but they can't say New Japan. So maybe this will probably be their
two different companies.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, you can say he's big in Japan, but the letters and New Japan. No, so I'm good.
Walter.
All I say is Q Nakamura push number 300 and Q Tokyo Dome WrestleMania rumors.
Ooh, that would be fun.
That actually would be interesting, actually. I'd be curious to see how WrestleMania would look and be filled out in Tokyo Dome. Since Keiji show was like one of the biggest ones since post-pandemic, his Last Love had more fans than Wrestle Kingdom that year, and that show was a month and some odd days after Wrestle Kingdom. Which Wrestle Kingdom was that? 17. That's right, because it was last year, February, that he retired.
Yeah. You got to figure if they did Mania at the Tokyo Dome, Nakamura would have to be in the main event.
Right? It makes sense.
He has to. And EO has to have a good spot. Asuka might get her first WrestleMania win.
Yeah, I would say let Asuka main event night 1 and let Nakamura main event night 2.
Kana has no roots in New Japan Pro Wrestling, all right? You're going to have to really work something out there.
But of the females, she's probably the biggest Japanese star that they have.
True, but her distaste in stardom is very well known thanks to its former owner, and I don't know. Again, at the time he was all wounds, but different world.
Egos are a thing. Real quick, I just want to correct Statboy on one point. Statboy, you know that WWE mentioned New Japan on multiple occasions, right? Even in the Vince era, JBL said multiple times that Brock Lesnar's a former IWGP World Champion.
Okay, well, they briefly mentioned it, but they just didn't go into super detail like we do. How about that?
That's fair, but they don't. But they have mentioned it.
Okay, shows how much I remember.
But
New Japan,
James,
IWGP,
here's the thing. For a casual fan, may not realize that the IWGP Championship is the New Japan Championship.
International Wrestling Grand Prix, for those that don't know what IWGP stands for, where the I is slightly bigger than the other letters.
The average Southern fans,
You
listening.
figure, the WWE Championship is for WWE. The WCW Championship is for WCW. The AEW Championship is for AEW. The IWGP Championship should be for a company called the IWGP, not New Japan.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know why they did it like that, but
So I'm just saying, to a common fan like Mikey, he may not even make that connection.
That's fair. And Tony had a different mindset, James. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, there's also, the average Southern fan. I'm not talking about Mikey, but just the average Southern fan is probably listening to IWGP. Is like, what the hell is that? Is that some Mario Kart bullshit?
Well, especially when you figure the GP is Grand Prix, they think they're going to get the Mario Kart 64 shit.
Exactly.
Or some NASCAR where they're making a left turn. Where they go and body slam somebody in the middle of my race?
Well, it's not NASCAR.
How the hell do you watch a fucking bunch of cars going a damn oval 500 times for 4 hours? You fucking idiots!
Hey, how dare you? I'm one of those idiots.
So am I. I report on it every week.
Exactly.
Because you drink boxed wine out of a box while you're at the track. That way you can throw up in it when you get too drunk.
Box wine? What the hell is wrong with this society?
Tokyo Dome.
NASCAR might be interesting.
They're making a left turn.
No, Tokyo Dome would have the Rainbow Road Circuit, bro.
There you go.
To be fair, they probably do have that in their Mario World, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, but no, I'm for anything that makes the sport that we all love better. So whatever's gonna make the sport continue, I say go for it.
Yeah.
No, we just managed to somehow turn a Japanese wrestling conversation into video games.
Into Mario Kart because of the IWGP.
At least Japan is the video game capital of the world. So at least in context, it makes some sense. Well, I've never played a Yakuza game in my life because I'm a cheap ass.
Hey, Yakuza game slap. I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, yeah, you want your closest Japanese experience, you play those because every corner has a damn minigame.
And for some reason, because it's Okada and the rest of the New Japan top stars are part of the Yakuza Japanese mafia.
Ironic that you would bring up Kazuchika Okada, because we did get a super chat from Emmanuel that mentioned AEW sucking every talent from the other company, being New Japan, because we were talking about Noah.
Well, in context, he's not wrong, but that's kind of what you need to do to have a globalized landscape to try and reach out to a global audience. So, what's your point?
Well, side tangent, has it been working for them? And before you quickly answer, let's really think about it. Takeshita recently gave an interview saying he's not having fun in AEW.
Dude, that broke my.
Jay White has been doing fuck all.
Yeah.
Okada is only relevant, if we're being honest, because he's teaming with the Young Bucks.
Which sucks because it should just be him by himself because he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time.
James!
You've got people online saying, and I'm not going to go as far as to echo their sentiments, but again, this is casual fan perspective, so keep it as such. Don't come after me, Noah, for what I'm about to say, but you've got people on the internet saying that that Logan Paul is what Will Ospreay wishes he could be.
Huh?
Well, everyone's entitled to their opinion, so
Because at the very least they're saying that Logan Paul is more charismatic and has better mic ability than Ospreay. I'm not saying I agree with them, but if the casual fans are saying this on top of everything else that we just pointed out that we know is true, is signing every New Japan talent to a deal over there really working out for them?
In context, because you're looking at the casual audience, I'm not going to be one of those idiots that don't understand that. No, of course not. For a casual, you have to make sure that's somehow relatable. The only reason people knew fuck all about Tama Tonga is because he's part of the bloodline, for example, to your point. So there's an approach towards everything, and the approach AEW is doing is for a knowledge base of known versus trying to teach the unknown. I will not deny that.
I will say it is odd that they do it the way they do it. So I won't deny that the AEW's had their ups and downs with that. But the only one they've actually done right by so far, at least, is Ospreay. To an extent. I mean, at least he's going to compete for a championship. At least he's on his own, kinda. He's like a baby face in the company. He's like one of the top stars there.
He's been exposed enough where everybody pretty much knows kind of who he is.
And listen, I understand this is casual fans' perspective. Listen, you're all wrong, and you all should feel bad. There's no way Will Ospreay is not better on the mic than Logan Paul. He is 10 times what Logan Paul wishes he was on the mic, dude. That is absurd. That is ridiculous,
James,
dude.
everyone's entitled to their opinion.
I know, but it doesn't make it right.
Opinions aren't supposed to be right. They're your thoughts.
I know. I'm kidding.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
What the fuck, though?
Society.
Like, all right. Yes, he says bruv a lot, but the dude, the passion on Will. On him every time he steps into that mic is like he's one of the shining stars in that entire top star division. Like he really is.
Yeah.
I think he could legitimately like have a promo battle with MJF. I think he's that good. Because he's got
that would be interesting to see. I'm not gonna lie.
Because like he's got how do you say it? Like, and Walter will know what I'm saying with this, but he's got like that Conor McGregor-esque flair to him every time he talks. He really does. Which ain't a bad thing. It ain't a bad thing. Just don't go throwing a stool into a fucking bus. Oh no.
He rides the line of cocky and confident very well.
He really does. He's a likable guy, but he also is a dickhead. And people pretty much look at that from both sides. So it's like MJF, who has endorsed as our scumbag. So there you go.
Noah, can you do me a favor? I know you're doing something. Can you look at your screen?
Why would I look at my screen right now when I'm trying to...
Just look at your screen.
Really, Jeff? Really? This is why the internet is the worst thing imaginable.
Good job, bro.
God damn it!
This is the flaw with the world and why our nation is where it's at.
No, you're doing it wrong because it's Vince. God damn it!
No. I did it right, but only the top row really gets what I did. So
no, I got what you did.
So I did legitimately have a phone call, but it only lasted about a few seconds, and I went, well, since I've got time.
There's better things to do with time than that.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I liken my current week to when we interviewed Bobby Heenan back in 2003. You sit on your couch, or in my case, sick bed for a week, watching nothing but soap operas and wrestling, you'll go nuts.
Yep, you find a way to entertain yourself.
All I have to say to that picture is Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
And with that, And with that, we're going to go to a commercial.
Oh, there you go.
Christ.
We're going to show you guys what you can see every Tuesday when the Stat Boy opens the doors to the sports bar. Stay tuned.
I think.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Beecham Network Multiverse of Media has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the Stat Boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dory Lou. And a host of other guests coming in. The food's hot, the seats are warm, the drinks are ice cold, and the sports talk is plentiful. Cassidy 18 Studios presents Stat Boy Sports Bar. Take a bar stool and enjoy the show.
Usually, I like to give you guys a teaser at the end when I go to bed on Saturday nights. But I'll give you this appetizer because of this. 2 words: competitive eating. It's a thing. Check out the sports bar on Tuesday, and you'll get the rest of the story.
Amen to that. Amen to that, brother.
Scary as hell too, if you really think about it. But I'll save the main course for Tuesday.
Yeah, it's the main course. I see what you did there.
Thank you.
And his main course has a first name. It's OSCAR. His main course has a second name. It's MAYER.
No.
I think that's a bunch of baloney you're spewing there, JJ.
I have
And
not
if you
messed
don't
with that
know, now you know.
I have not messed with that meat byproduct brand in I don't know how long.
Yeah, so that was funny though. That was
good, James. Good one.
Way to spam a bunch of nonsense.
Speaking of byproducts, let's go back to AEW for a moment.
Oh yeah! Oh Jesus! What a stab in the jugular!
I kid. I'm really trying. I'm really not trying to take too many shots at AEW tonight. I'm really not.
Actually doing all right.
No, but this is an interesting conversation point, as it was announced a few days ago that on the road to All In, AEW is basically taking up a residency in Arlington, Texas.
The hell?
All those episodes of Collision and Death Before Dishonor will be in the same venue.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I have 2 trains of thought here, very Harvey Dent-esque. On the one hand, it's goddamn, we're beating another fucking market to death. Just like we did Chicago a couple years ago. What the fuck are you thinking? On the other hand, it's like Texas is a huge market. You think about the Von Erichs, of course, the Iron Claw movie just dropping on Max. which they decided to promote during a King of the Ring episode instead of AEW television, but I digress.
They promoted a lot tonight.
There were plenty of commercials this week on Dynamite, though.
And tonight,
but you think about that, and you think about what a transit hub it is in Dallas Fort Worth Airport and everything. It's easy to get in and out of for talent coming from pretty much any part of the world.
Yeah.
Dallas Fort Worth is kind of like LAX, kind of like Kennedy. You know, I would not be surprised if after the show on the 17th, they all don't just jump on a couple of planes and fly to the UK together from there, because why disperse and go back home just to then catch a flight? You know what I mean? It's like that's a huge hub, and then you get a whole week of promotion in the UK for All In. I think they've got it set up to do Dynamite from the same venue as All In this year.
From
but
Wembley Stadium
or somewhere nearby. I think they're kind of doing the WWE approach this year. They may not be in Wembley per se, but I think they're doing the show in the UK.
I mean,
Maybe the
Impact
O2?
Wrestling used to run in the O2, so it's not too far-fetched to find something near Wembley to do AEW. Let me check their tickets. I'm curious now.
So I'm curious what everybody's thought is about it. And Matthew makes up a great point. It's smart that they're working a 2,500 seat venue. Definitely going for a smaller venue than what they've been booking. But can they fill it 6 times in a row without burning the crowd out? Now, Arlington isn't El Paso. It's not Dallas. It's not Houston. So maybe Arlington is clamoring a little bit more for the wrestling. I don't know though. Like I have skepticism, but I do have a positive outlook on this one. I saw your hand, James, but I do want to go ahead and throw it to Noah first as the primary AEW head on the panel. Plus, then he can get his thought out and go back to what he's working on for church tomorrow. So
That's fair. That's fair.
Well, again, I look at all things wrestling, but I guess I'm just the AEW guy because I'm just like, this is great pro wrestling. I don't know. But
I know Mike doesn't watch it. I know
like
James has been very cynical of it. I know I'm on the verge of ceasing watching it, and I don't know where Jeff and Walter stand with the product. So I figured I would go to you first on this one. I know you'll have a positive outlook more than likely.
Well, that's the only way you get ahead in life, and the only way you can try and enjoy wrestling. So fair enough. First off, to echo your thoughts, because these are all just Saturdays. Yeah, there is nothing booked that last week before All In. So Monday, the August 19th, all the way to Sunday, August the 25th, All In. There is nothing booked right now on AEW's website for tickets to a Dynamite, Rampage, or Collision that week before they go to Wembley. So you very well could be right there, which would be huge for AEW to try and do their first internationally recorded telecast. But as far as this goes, to me, it almost feels like finding like that key centralized location to get a feel, an idea, and maybe, like you said, a centralized hub. Like I always said, Impact Wrestling is like the mecca, the beacon, the center of the industry, because anybody can come in and out of that company and go anywhere else that they want in the world. So I think that it's smart strategy to focus content, at least for one of your shows, from a sizable, reasonable venue with a nice schedule, because we know all the Dynamites, the Rampages up to that point, they're going to be booked in different things. I mean, hell, they're doing Dynamite in California while they're doing Collision in Las Vegas this coming week. So there you go. So I am kind of curious to see how this does shape that month of Collision. And the fact they're only doing that on Saturdays at the end of the week, and they didn't apply that to the Dynamite, which is the premier flagship show. And Rampage, which usually follows, its own thing when it's not competing with the damn NBA or NHL. Damn it.
Well, those two things aren't running during the summer months. Hockey playoffs should be over by the beginning of July at the latest.
Yeah. Well, thank Christ. Starting to get pissed off.
And they do have one Friday. They're doing Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor from the same venue.
Well, I have seen them do Ring of Honor and Collision. Yes, that's right. Ring of Honor Collision back-to-back days. I'm pretty sure they did that WrestleMania weekend. I think they did it last year with Final Battle. That almost seems like just a normal thing to do within the same building. But the fact they're using this same building 6 other times on just Saturday, it's odd, but it's unique. And it almost sounds fair heading out towards what is truly their biggest show of the year. And again, I said last year, will the sequel surpass the pilot? Completely up in the air. So I like that they're trying to work within, I think, a reasonable capacity, but they're focusing a single month of content for one of their shows in that location. It's almost like when Impact Wrestling did just a constant chesting of tapings from Sam's Club in Las Vegas for a good period of time, including the freaking Plus specials. They almost centralized there for a period. I thought Impact was actually going to try and centralize actually this year, or TNA. So maybe AEW is just trying to find, that spot where they could do this type of stuff heading into, a major pay-per-view or their biggest pay of the year. I don't see them doing RNA like every year, but maybe this is just one of those approaches where they're trying to conserve heading into their biggest pay-per-view of the year. I'm for it because, again, you're going to recognize where they're at. It shouldn't necessarily affect the audience if the audience, keeps cycling out who gets the tickets and what. Because I imagine they're not going to do get all these shows with a single pass. That'd be futz. I imagine they'll probably do 2 or 3. So I'm just curious why they chose Saturday's Collision for this versus the other 2 shows. But then you talk about capacity. If it's only 2,500, that seems fair for a Saturday night.
Well, that plus, let's be honest. Ever since Punk left the company, collisions have been very lackluster. I'm just going to leave it at that mildly.
No, I get you. It feels like
Dynamite is still a hot ticket. That's their A show.
Yes.
People are going to tune into that regardless.
Yes.
But more and more Rampage and Collision have gotten to the point where if I'm home and I'm not busy, I'll watch them. But if I don't watch it, I don't feel like I missed anything.
Yeah.
I get that. I get that. Besides the Collision,
it's like main event.
Besides the Collision main event and opener, the middle's so it has been like that. As somebody who watches it weekly, because it's there. It's pro wrestling. I live on pro wrestling. I just don't do it like Nick Nemeth.
And it does look like every time I throw this up, I just caught there is a Thursday Collision, so it's obviously being preempted.
Bloody hell!
1 week at least.
No, sir. It's being recorded to air August 3rd.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So it's just not going to be live that week.
Correct.
Why would it be? Why would it not be live that Saturday?
Not sure.
On August 3rd.
Probably a concert.
Oh, right. The venue probably would have been. The venue probably.
Yeah, probably.
Because you got to, of course, work with Taurus, directories. This is the first AEW. I'm curious if this is another plan they do for maybe their biggest pay-per-view of the year. Whether or not they apply this to Revolution or a Full Gear remains to be seen. I'm curious what this leads to, considering, once again, why the fuck do they do this? After All In, the following weekend, JJ, we're back to Chicago at All Out.
I don't like that.
August 3rd is also SummerSlam.
That's exactly why they're not going live right there. That is exactly why.
Yeah.
There you go.
Go live, tape it on Thursday, air it as competition, but not worry about drawing fans to the arena. SummerSlam is going on in Cleveland.
That's fair. I completely forgot. There's too much damn wrestling to keep up.
So wait a minute. That means Tony Khan actually did something intelligent. Cheers to you, TK.
Well, Yeah, if only he would do that most of the time. All right.
If Noah has nothing else on this topic, we'll go ahead and throw to you, James, because you did have your hand up. You did seem to want to speak, but like I said, I wanted to go to Noah first here.
I'm optimistic to see if this applies to their big four, and does it help with really pushing pay-per-view sales forward or interest. So let's see. Maybe it's less stressful on the town. Maybe it's less stressful on the town as well when it comes to traveling.
I actually think it would be a good idea, depending on how this goes for them. I think it would be a good idea to do a residency like this around their big four, even big five if you count Forbidden Door, in the central hubs. Do a residency in New York, do a residency in LA, do a residency maybe in St. Louis. You've got that market.
Right.
Yeah.
Do Texas, and maybe do a residency in Canada, and you can do the Owen while you're during the residency in Canada.
Which is interesting because he's announced nothing about either Owens this year, and I imagine that will be announced at Double or Nothing.
More than likely, knowing
Yeah.
TK.
If it's even, let's be honest, if it's even still an opportunity for it to be happening now that Punk is gone, because we know now who probably made that deal.
Well, Forbidden Door is at the end
fair.
of. Yeah, true, but Forbidden Door is at the end of June also this year too, unlike last year, and they did the Owen in July through Canada.
Yeah, it's weird. All I'll say is this, and I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing for where they are right now. But depending on where you stand on the fence, you may consider it a bad thing. But here's my thought. Get used to this. You're going to be seeing a lot more of this residency stay for survival. That's exactly why they're doing it. There is no other reason. This is why they're doing it. There is no guarantee that Warner is happy fully, and they're not bullshitting TK the entire time. I think especially after his recent escapades with the NFL draft and calling WWE the Harvey Weinstein Company, insert foot, put in own mouth fucking syndrome he's got going on lately.
I still don't understand what that meant.
Yeah, it's good that you don't, put it that way. And it's just, it's not a good look. That I think a lot of people have changed their tune, including the people at Warner. And I'll be real with you. If I'm any company executive, I'd be firing him on the spot. I'm shocked he's still employed by the Jaguars after the shit he pulled. Genuinely. I'm shocked he's still employed. I'm shocked he's still employed by freaking Fulham FC. Although I'm sure they don't really give too much of a shit as opposed to NFL, who actually has a working relationship with the WWE, but I digress. Now, the good news is if they do end up getting a television rights deal and they keep the same deal that they have gotten and they just don't increase it, then they continue with this and that saves them money. So that way they don't have issues with traveling. Then they could just travel to a town every month as opposed to going from city to city every week. And then you risk burning out the market less. I think that's going to be a continued trend moving forward. I think this is more than I think this is an experiment for that test more than anything. And then I think we're going to see that coming on a lot. I think that's what's going to happen. So that's just my thing with that. You could look at it either way. You could look at it in a bad way or a good way. It really could go either way at this point.
Like any decision in the friggin' wrestling industry or anything.
Yeah, really. So that's my thoughts.
Okay. Very quickly before I throw to either Walter or Mike, Noah, check your private messages from me. Don't read it on the air, but I just gave you a little cliff notes about Harvey Weinstein.
There you go. Okay.
Walter, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, Texas is a big wrestling state, so I get like why they did this, but I think this is purely just a financial thing. It's to save money. Let's face it, in this economy, even if you are stacked with money and everything, traveling is expensive. So to have them all in one central hub, and then before you do your big pay-per-view to go to the UK, like you were saying, to have them all do that slash cost for the company, and I think they're starting to, they signed too many people. They have too much things. So Tony Khan was just spend money. He kept saying during the pandemic he wouldn't release people. So he's got all that still on the book. So in a way to cut costs, I feel like that's why he did this. So it's a smart thing. And I know it's weird for me to give Tony Khan some credit for something, but I think this is purely just from a company business point. This is just financial. It just saves the company money. That's all this, I feel like this is.
I agree with you, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Again, that's why I think they should do it, and especially when it comes to Collision and or Rampage, if they ever decide to do anything more with that, like I discussed, maybe making that a female show. Collision just ain't selling out houses. It's a Saturday night. People are out. They're having dates. They're at concerts. They're at movies. They're at a million other things as opposed to seeing bounty hunter Brian Keith versus whoever the hell he fought tonight. No disrespect. I like that dude. He actually reminds me of one of my old buddies. But it just, no one's going to go and fill up a 1,500 seat arena to see that. But a 2,500 seat arena, and you figure, they've been drawing maybe 3,000 to 3,500. Then Tony Khan and Tony Schiavone and all of them can announce, we had to turn fans away at the door.
Yep.
You're able to put a spin on it to make it sound like you're so popular. We couldn't even have people in the building. We had to turn people away. Now all of a sudden, Collision is the hot place to go. You want to make sure you get your ticket for it when they come to your town, because we're turning fans away. It's so good. To a certain extent, it's false advertising, but it's smart because they're not lying if they're actually selling 2,500 seats and 3,000 people are showing up. They're not lying technically.
I think what
exaggerating.
I think what makes this sad, to add to your point, though, JJ, is like that's exactly how you could look at this in a bad light, because they didn't need to put a spin on shit. The most diehard AEW fans back then, when they were on their highest of high, which were me and Noah, I've fallen the fuck off for obvious reasons, but when they were on their high, there was no bigger defender of this product than me. I was going to bat for them any way I could, especially when Tony Khan was being accused of being racist all that time ago, or the time where they said he's not having sellouts, and he was, or that he's not selling enough merchandise, and he was. You can't say that now. They've fallen off. Every metric down. The only metric that has been up there, and you can't tell me it's the only one that matters, because it's like not even a third of what the fuck is the general consensus of how they make their money, is their pay-per-view business. That's the only thing that's up right now, is their pay-per-views. And that goes for AEW and Ring of Honor, because they both bang. That's it. Their TV product has been god-awful. God-awful. With the exception of Dynamite on a rarity lately. You know, you're not building up stars correctly. Like, the only one they've done that successfully with is Willow and Mercedes, which is the TBS title division. No, nobody else has meant shit. Maybe you could make an argument for fucking Jericho and Hook. But I think even that's a stretch because Hook was already made and Jericho's a fucking legend in the sport. And really, it's just going to do more for Jericho than Hook anyway, because he's just trying to reinvent his character for the upteenth time, which is already working. So at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter. Like, I don't even know what the fuck we're doing anymore. And there's reasons why we're at where we're at right now. If you're going to Texas, you should really take a hard fucking reset and go back to what made you get to the dance in the first place. Long-term booking. God, you need long-term booking. And I'm not talking about just for the pay-per-views. I'm talking about for the television leading up to such. Because that's what AEW was the master of that once upon a time. I don't know what the fuck this AEW is now. But oh my God, it's like a haphazard shit show. Still, it hasn't changed since I stopped watching. It's been this way since I stopped watching the weekly product every week. He changes that while he's in Texas somehow, then maybe there's hope. And he can't just come up with a full-on plan A. He needs to have a plan B and plan C in case somebody goes down hurt. Which we know infamously when that happens, Tony Khan panics and loses all fucking long-term booking plans. Happened with Cody, happened with Punk for two very different reasons. We saw it with the TNT title division. We saw how he handled the world title division when Punk got hurt. So, if he can't do it, appoint somebody to him and delegate. But that's what he needs to do if he wants to turn this ship around, because, you know, this is a safe space for now, but how long is it going to be a safe space if you keep doing this every week, where you go and basically block out a whole state to fucking run shows?
Hear you.
So,
before I throw to Jeff, Noah, without going too much in depth, do you understand the comparison Tony Khan was making now?
People really need to learn to think before they act.
Amen to that.
So, Mr. Meacham, do you need a roll of 2-ply for the shitstorm you walked back into?
No, as a matter of fact, I just came back from dropping a full Corey Perry, so I'm good to go.
You should have called it a full Tony Khan.
That's okay. JJ knows what I'm talking about, especially after tonight's game. So I had a really great crack to lay on Arlington about the fact that they want to see great competition because their sports teams suck, but the Rangers beat the Angels tonight. So, but you know, is that really saying much? It beating the Angels in May, not so much. The Cowboys in Arlington, yeah, they could, yeah. Oh, I tend to agree with you, boss, that it's just cost cutting more than anything else. It's one of those, you know, they're bleeding money every time they go out, and you know, there's a very well-known former Turner executive who happened to run their wrestling division once upon a time that, you know, talked about cutting out the house shows when he first got there because they were losing money every time they went out the door. And they were hand over fist. Every time they left center stage, WCW was just going out in the red.
Yeah, he literally said it's WCW 99 right now.
Yeah, I tried to watch an episode. It turned into one of those, it wasn't what it was advertised to be, because they basically were doing a watch along of the Nitro from yesterday, 25 years ago, May 17th. And it was a shit show of a Nitro, but they really weren't watching along with it. It was more of a attempt to compare the two products. And he's even said himself, they are diametrically different for a variety of reasons. But the bottom line is, you know, AEW hit the iceberg far sooner than WCW did. Mm-hmm. And WCW was never meant to steer away from it.
Yep.
I've said that so much. I think that Aaron and the No DQ team are determined to have that on my epitaph. The fact that I agree with Eric Bischoff on all things. But it's truth. I think it really I'll look at that later, Mikey. Thank you. I got distracted. Give me a second. I'll get it back.
With Collision, I assume you're talking about.
No, I was
Eric Bischoff.
Thank you. Damn. Tony had the opportunity when AEW launched to be an alternative brand, and they're not. They're just a. And I forget what I think it was you, JJ, that made the point of, Collision is definitely not must see TV. Must view programming. Destination programming. There it is. Jesus Christ. I still at least make the attempt to DVR Dynamite, because I know that's going to have relevant build to the pay-per-view. And if I miss Collision, hell, great example. I watched the Stanley Cup playoff game tonight instead of the 3-hour block of AEW. Now, granted, I still fell asleep because I was tired off my ass because I've been so damn sick. But, I still made the decision. I could have very easily could have watched both, because I have two separate TVs in here where that way I can get, more things accomplished. But I didn't want to watch AEW. I had no interest in it tonight. So them moving to for lack of a better term, a host venue, almost a studio wrestling type setup, where they can have the same type of audience week in and week out, building up to what has essentially become their biggest show, might not be the worst thing. I think if they go with the idea that's been kind of run around the room here of doing that with all of the major shows, I'm talking, like you said, Revolution, Double or Nothing, All In, Full Gear. Thank you. I was going to get there, but I was trying to see Forbidden Door Canada, and I guess it kind of sort of does, but not really. But definitely
I would have the Forbidden Door residency be the Canadian residency, since it's the international,
Yeah. And to the point that was made, if they're actually going to go through with the Owen, then that's the way to do that.
What they did last year with the Owen.
Right. But I think having that core area of audience does you good in a couple of ways. One, it, smaller venues, can lead to the spin that your dad was talking about while I was otherwise entangled. The other thing is you can gauge a particular area and kind of get more of a, it's going to sound way too scientific than I mean it to, but like when you're conducting an experiment and you have a sample product, like in a dish or whatever, and you're trying to gather the data, you can gather it easier if it's a smaller concentration. I'm not saying that people on Texas are going to be representative of the entirety of the country, but if you get a rotating audience, but still the same area, you may get different responses. It could happen across the country. It's one of those, I feel like AEW is throwing shit against the wall and trying to make anything stick at this point. It's Texas. It's hot. Things are going to stick to the wall. Shit's going to stick. It's hotter than fuck down there. So maybe they'll get a better idea of what to do going forward. And I'm seeing as I go along here the messages in the chat room. For those of you that are new or haven't been around in a while, please don't forget, if you would like your messages or chats addressed on screen, super chat, because we will definitely get to it.
Absolutely. Mikey, have you got anything that you'd like to add? Being an avid non-AEW watcher?
It's almost like, it sounds like AEW is trying to grasp at straws other than throwing stuff at the wall as well. I mean, it's I can agree. It's all about, money, merchandising, marketing, all that. There's a lot of sayings down in Texas, God, family, football, and wrestling. That's a popular thing in Texas. You go back like you said, the Von Erich days. But the only thing I can really think of is at least the shows are spread out. It's not one right after the other immediately. They give it a little bit of a break, and then they do the other stuff. So, and also it's like we loved the center when we went to Battleground and we went to PWG. We would have gotten burned out. I can understand the burnout comment too. I mean, to go to the same place, you probably would get the same people, and that's not all a bad thing. But I would get burned out by the third or fourth show, and I wouldn't know if I'd be that one person that would want to do all 6. So I'm kind of iffy on it, but hey, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you seriously got to think about throwing in the towel at this point. I mean, it's like I said, it's almost like it's a last-ditch effort. They're getting to that point.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Ugh. All right.
We got Walter too. Has he gone?
I thought Walter spoke on that. Yeah, he said he did.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I went.
Just making sure.
I think James is just tired, the heat, and I think we're all just tired of spinning the same spoke when it comes to the booking strategies of this company.
I was the one that brought up that it's purely financial. Like, it's all financial, yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's fair. And Noah's exactly right. That's exactly what it is. I feel like we're beating a dead horse more so than freaking most topics of this company. I feel like it all goes back to the same issues every time.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to throw to commercial. We're going to throw to Noah's favorite commercial, our watch long trailer. It might be a little outdated. I don't think I ever re-updated it after the last watch longs. So those have happened. Go check those out in the archives. But everything else is stuff that we're going to be covering here across the multiverse.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Even tired and extremely exhausted and fatigued, I still have to always say all the wrestling, 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 all the professional wrestling. Damn it! But seriously, WrestleMania in Las Vegas on Easter Sunday on 4/20. What the fuck are you thinking, WWE?
True that.
Well, I saw this on the Twix while the trailer was playing. I think I know what match Noah's looking forward to on Dynamite this week.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Wee woo, wee woo.
What?
Wee woo, woo.
You know what the sad part is? It's probably going to be a banger. Like, honestly. Like, the problem is Bryan Danielson can get a match out of a damn broomstick, and Satnam Singh's actually, like, pretty damn movable for a big guy, so
Yeah, I mean, he's not a great Khali.
He's definitely not a great Khali. Although Great Khali, once upon a time, could move. He actually jumped over the top rope once upon a time.
He moved better in New Japan, though. I'm just saying, James.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. This was before the earthquake that fucked him up. Poor guy. Anyway.
All right. So the next topic is a little bit more retrospective. This past Thursday marked 2 years since Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out of the WWE.
Oh.
And I wanted to take a moment and kind of reflect on a number of different things. You figure what they were trying to fight for. You know, the women's tag team division, has it gotten better? Has it stayed the same? Has it gotten worse? Has the stuff that they were trying to fight for kind of come to fruition? Did they make any waves? Did a change happen? And who in those 2 years did the best? Now, I don't know a whole lot of what was going around prior to their leaving, because you got to remember, 2 years ago, I came back. And while definitely the women's tag team division has still had quite a few stutter steps, I think especially with the way NXT is building up a women's roster, arguably, as Noah has agreed to, the second best women's division in the States, I definitely see some headway being made there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they still don't have any organic teams, really. Most of them are still people thrown together. But I feel like that's better than nothing, especially if the teams make sense, like a Candice and an Indy, like a Alba and Isla, like a Caden and Katana. You know, they're still thrown together teams for the most part, but they work. So I feel like that's had some improvement. There was a question in the chat room earlier about who the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions are. Since we are discussing tag teams here, I'll go ahead and address that. There are none.
Yeah.
If that guy is still watching, Alba and Isla unified the titles with Ronda and Shayna, losing the NXT tag titles to Ronda and Shayna, and there's only been one set of women's tag titles since then.
Yes.
Which at first I thought was a mistake, but now that we're getting this NXT Women's North American title, I think it was the best thing they could have done.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's way more singles wrestlers in NXT than there are tag teams.
Yes.
So to give those up-and-coming women, your Sol Rukas, your Kalani Jordans, a title to fight for, while the other women go after the main title, I think is brilliant.
Yeah.
When it comes to who did better of the two, I got to go with Trinity. I got to go with Naomi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mercedes had a decent little run there in New Japan that only the diehard wrestling fans saw. Not trying to make fun of, but the Noahs of the world that watch all the wrestling. Most people have no idea that she was there.
Yeah.
You know, she won the title and within like 2 months was losing the title. And then was supposed to become the New Japan Strong Women's Champion, but fucked up her own move so that she got injured. I want to try to blame Willow for it in this bullshit storyline. Then there's all the shit that went on about her in the meet and greet circuit during the time when she was gone. Whereas Naomi reinvented herself under her real name, Trinity, went to Impact, freaking defeated Deonna Purrazzo, made her tap, had a lengthy run with the Knockouts title, arguably the greatest women's division in the States.
Damn it.
And has been welcomed back to the company with open arms. Has she had the greatest run since coming back? No, that's questionable, depending on how you look at it, but she's back in the company. Mercedes is supposedly where the best wrestle, but she ain't had a match yet. How good is she really? And yes, I get she's not fully healed, but it helps to make the joke there where she's in a company where they say the best wrestler and she's not wrestling. So clearly you're not the best.
Mm.
I'm going to go to the man whose name is not on the marquee tonight because it's a QR code. Jeff, you start us, or no, my apologies. I forgot that Mikey put in the private chat he wanted to go first.
Yeah.
Go ahead, we'll go to Mikey first.
I'll go after Mikey.
How long do you prep something before it burns, and how long do you set up? Okay, now, yes, you said Mercedes is injured. Fine, I can factor that. This is why Naomi Trinity has done better. So I agree with you with that. Okay, she needs if she doesn't get well fast quick enough, and if she doesn't start wrestling, that's going to be another nail in the coffin for her and AEW, straight out. As far as also, things getting better in the women's division, absolutely. I mean, look at the current WWE Tag Team Champions, women's, Jade and Bianca, absolutely. You brought in Tiffy Time. Okay, great. Keep going with it. You've got all this talent. What happened with the Impact stuff with Jordan Grace? If that was a one-off, I have a problem with that. That should have kept going. I would have loved to see that continue. I mean, it's been 5 months since the Royal Rumble, 4 or 5 months. So let's continue that option. You're wasting one talent somewhere else. Others are flourishing. I'm turning the dial up on Jade. I'm very happy for her now. She did a great job this past weekend. If you haven't seen SmackDown yet, great storyline, great match. Things are working for them now, and it's great. But keep it going. Don't stop now. Let it go.
All right. Before I throw to Jeff, I feel like I need to address Mikey a little bit. As much as I love Bianca and Jade as my tag team champions, it's still another example of a thrown together team.
Right. I understand that.
It's working, but it's still another thrown together team where we need more the Rockers. We need more the New Age Outlaws, the Acolytes. We need these type of teams for the women. As far as Jordan Grace, what do you want? Do you want her to be popping up weekly? Even AEW doesn't do the Forbidden Door every Dynamite. They do it once a year. This is the second time a reigning Knockouts women's champion appeared in the Rumble. And there's still a lot of Twitter banter going on where we could potentially see Jordan Grace versus Natalia at Slammiversary, where Natalia would then do the favor and go to the TNA pay-per-view.
Sounds good. I like it.
But you don't want to do that every pay-per-view. You don't want to do that every week. It needs to be a special event.
Agreed.
The other thing to keep in mind is both Mickie James and Jordan Grace being in the Rumble was as a result of Scott D'Amore and Triple H working together. Scott D'Amore's no longer the go-to at TNA. So the guy running the wrestling side of Anthem is not as broad-minded as Scott was. As far as the anniversary of the walkout, I cannot take credit for this thread, but I will definitely run with it. Think about it this way. They walked out, so it was 2 years. That would have been 2022. Around the same time, Punk was quoted as calling for workers' rights within the industry. CM Punk, not just some random Punk. I'm going to try to be contextual here, folks. Which led to their response from Hangman Page that we got on air, talking about Punk and workers' rights, which led to Brawl Out, which led that it's freaking biblical the way that shit went down. It's Genesis. I think that had a lot more impact, no pun intended, than we even realized at the time. At the time, it was just, they're disgruntled. Well, Mercedes is disgruntled, and Trent's just, being in solidarity with her partner. But, if you think about that, I don't think the two are unrelated as far as the two ladies walking out and CM Punk calling for workers' rights and the rebuttal from Hangman Page that sent us down this primrose path the last 2 years. But as far as them individually and collectively, yes, Trinity got to have an amazing, brief but amazing run within Impact/TNA. Was the champion when the rebranding was announced, so that'll always be with her, which is cool. Got to come back to WWE, JJ, as you said, with open arms. No drama. It was brought up somewhere on social about, they walked out and they caused trouble, and they were, she immediately gets priority. It's like, dude, her husband has been caught with how many DUIs and still welcome back with no problems? Just saying. There'd be a reason for that. We don't see him a whole lot on television, but he's still very much acknowledged every week. Isn't he, wise man? Mercedes, again, she is not the most popular person in this room necessarily. And yes, she's not wrestled on American soil except once since she left WWE. And that was the ill-fated show in Long Beach where she got hurt and ended up having to, change the finish of the match that would have seen her become a champion in New Japan. And yeah, she's not fully ready. Hopefully she'll be ready by Sunday. That would be nice. Yes. So I think that they've both had their own amount of success. You figure she was already working for Lucasfilm at the time that she walked out, but also Mandalorian was kind of already on its way out by the time that aired. So you weren't going to get to see a whole lot of her character develop. So, I feel like her success post this walk, or her career period post the walkout, is still very much to be determined. Whether we remember the name Mercedes Moné, Mercedes Vernado go down in history, or will she just be, oh yeah, she used to be Sasha Banks. And I think Sunday's a big part of that. It's the start of whether that's the reality or not. And yeah, them leaving and Trent going to TNA and then coming back, kind of opened the door a little bit. We had that unbelievable fight with Shayna Baszler and Masha Slamovich at Bloodsport, which I thought, James, you and Walter called that show. I'd be surprised if that wasn't a show stealer. It's just they couldn't steal the show from any other match because every fight was awesome. It just that was a great way. I said it every time we bring it up. That's a great way to kick off that weekend. My God.
Yeah, it was so good.
Such a good show. So much fun.
Yeah,
right?
Phenomenal show, top to bottom.
It was fun to sit there in the control room going, God damn, this is good stuff. Good shit, pal. But I think that, and trends on WWE now. Naomi, what have they done with her since that brief little? Her and Tiffany might go. No. So I think both their success is very much still to be determined. Now that I've answered what time it was by telling you how to make the watch.
Imposter!
Noah, sir.
Why? I'm awake. Why?
Oh, Jesus. I know.
How about women's wrestling? He still goes dark.
I'm tired as fuck, brother. Anyway. Yeah, Jeff, you hit the nail on the head when it came to the first part. Success, how do you measure success when it comes to what you've done since and what you could be doing now? Mercedes Moné took a bump through a table. What can she do when the bell rings since coming back from injury? Don't know. Trinity, incredible excursion in TNA wrestling, finding her glow, coming back home, and jobbing out. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I won't call neither unsuccessful. I think, again, it is undetermined success or unclaimed success, like trying to claim the primary objective in a video game. So neither right now are truly successful. I think both their success will be defined in the short-term future on where you stand on if both were right in their decision. Now, women's wrestling and the state of in WWE. First off, tag teams brought to us by IKEA. No. They're all fucking thrown together. The only damn ones that matter were KC Squared and Isla Dawn and Alpha Fire. They still done jack shit with them. And SmackDown has the way, and Chelsea Green and Piper Niven were the last relevant teams since the Iconics because they actually made those titles important. Again, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair. Okay, they just got them. I'm not going to throw them under the bus yet. Make me believe in women's tag team wrestling in WWE. As far as I'm concerned, NXT still leads WWE in promoting a good women's division and women's professional wrestling. But I still hold out for TNA, especially with a certain somebody coming back possibly to maybe finally become TNA Knockouts World Champion. They intend to be determined, but I still call it off for Summerversary. So in short, Naomi, Sasha Banks, Mercedes, whatever the fuck you want to call her, Mandalorian, the success undetermined. Women's state in WWE. Floundering. Figure out tag team wrestling or finally bury it. Look at what NXT is doing and try and replicate it.
Walter, what say you on this matter, sir?
In terms of the tag titles and why they walked out, I don't think that's gotten any better because the titles kind of don't mean jack shit. They kind of mean the same that they did that. And the problem is there aren't enough teams to where you have people having these long reigns, but it's because they're not really defending the titles. And then now Jade, and of course I love Jade and Bianca, they get the titles, but now they got to get thrown into the Queen of the Rings and the title gets thrown aside again. So it's like the women's division did get better itself, but that the tag titles are still just toys and something to sell for little girls to buy because I feel like they're completely irrelevant. Hopefully Jade and Bianca can change that, but it's pretty much the same level as when they walked out. So in terms of the titles themselves, their value didn't go up, but the women's division in general did go up. And in terms of who's had the better career, I wouldn't say better, but more exciting career. And what I paid attention, it's Trinity, it's Naomi. She went to the Knockouts division. She reinvented herself and she came back home. And then hopefully what me and Aaron have been calling for years, maybe she gets involved in this bloodline. So maybe that's why she's jobbing out and not being booked as strong right now. But I think we have to wait till the Queen of the Ring tournament is over for everything to blow up, because it kind of resets once we find out who wins the Queen of the Ring. Then I feel like the women division gets to reset a little. I think everything's kind of on hold right now because of that Queen of the Ring being so dominant right now. Everything is focused on that. And I think that's what it is. I think we just got to be a little patient with it. But in terms of Mercedes, yeah, I'm over her. I'm ready to see her wrestle or like shut the hype up, because I'm getting tired of it. And I spent the money to go to Boston and go see her debut and everything, but I'm already all over. I'm over the song. I'm over her character. She needs to be a damn heel by now. Like, this is none of it's working in my opinion. So I'm just over her right now.
She'll be a heel come next weekend. It'll be a thing.
Yeah.
Show me what you can do, bell to bell in that ring, so I'll give a jack shit about you. Otherwise, I don't give a fuck. And another thing, WWE, make more single stars. Stop depending always on Becky and Bayley, for Christ's sake.
Mm-hmm.
But Noah, there was a 4.5 hour something marathon today about the best of Becky Lynch, full matches. What are you talking about? She's the best bout machine of WWE.
First off, spend your time watching
it's Charlotte Flair is poorly missed. That's the problem.
I couldn't get out of the straight face. It was so bad. Anyway, I love Bex. I do, but Jesus.
It's Charlotte being injured too. Like, that division took a big hit with her being injured.
No, I completely disagree. It's because they haven't built stars.
Thank you!
Yeah.
Fucking hell, how hard is it to do?
We need
you need the established stars to build the next set of stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you've got, Charlotte, that doesn't work for me, brother Flair.
Jesus, here we go. JJ on the big dick syndrome of Charlotte Flair ruling the women's division.
Hey, you know what? It's true. He's not lying.
True. He's not wrong, but seriously, I don't want to spin this wheel again.
No,
maybe that's
what
this draft was designed for,
but it's like we've got Alexa still out. We've got Liv, who everybody wants to be the one to beat Becky at King of the Ring. And I'm like, dear God, let's not. Her last championship reign went so fucking well.
Yeah, true.
Liv Morgan becoming women's champion is the equivalent of the Young Bucks as AEW tag champions. I said it, I fucking mean it.
Well, they both shop for sneakers.
You've got Charlotte gone, but as soon as she gets back, she's going to get a title shot and probably become champion.
Yeah.
Accurate.
Becky's got a foot out the door if rumors are to be believed.
Don't blame
But
her.
considering her husband just signed a new deal, I doubt she's really going anywhere.
Give yourself some time off.
But the era of the horsewomen and Noah's NXT women that are on the roster needs to be fucking done.
Personally, I was more into Nikki Cross, Ruby Riott, Peyton Royce, but that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, Nikki is still there, but you wouldn't fucking know it.
Well, I mean, she was getting her master's done, so I don't hold that against her. Congrats to her.
Sarah Logan's pregnant again. She's gone.
That family. Congrats to her.
Bianca's pretty much trying to hold the women's division down.
Yeah.
But push Nia.
Yeah.
Push Tiffany. with her new heel character, even push Candace. I would rather see Candace have a short run than giving it to fucking Liv Morgan.
I agree.
Because at least Candace has freshened up her character and would be a decent heel champion for the baby faces to chase.
I just wanted Dee Hartwell to get the run that she deserves that got cut off so fucking quick. As far as Raw goes, put the rocket on Lyra Valkyria the right way and mix them out. That'd be Nile.
Yeah. Or Chelsea fucking Green.
Who's on SmackDown, but yes, Chelsea Green should be champion. Royal Rumble MVP. I said what I said. Don't at me.
For the women, yeah, for sure.
Just, it's the women's division in WWE is suffering the same problem that made me stop watching WWE back in 2014. The same people are being pushed.
Yeah.
There's a reason I still do highlights only for WWE content outside calling PLEs.
Yep.
But they've got the talent. They just need to push it better.
Exactly. How the fuck? Oh, God. Lord forgive me. Anyway, blah. I'm a little more awake now that I got all my little tan rage out of the way. Bleh.
Is James the only one that still needs to go?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, James.
I couldn't have agreed more with a lot of the takes. I feel like, yes, while the WWE has definitely gotten better somewhat in a lot of aspects, like, you know, I'll give you this. At least they put together a thrown together tag team that actually makes sense in Bianca and Jade. That's the only fucking thing they have done right when throwing together tag team, because at least they both, you know, very similar in strength and agility and, you know, learning quick, very similar paths to where they got to where they are, you know, very similar attitudes. It all works. So you can, that's why I say you can hardly call it thrown together, but the rest of it is like, oh my God. Like the only other teams you have that are legitimate are KC Squared, the Kabuki Warriors, and the Unholy Union. So
they're all on the Raw, I believe.
Yeah. So it's fine. It's not bad. It's not what it should be. And I think that, you know, ultimately, that's like that in AEW as well. So, you know, I think Naomi has done better by proxy. Nothing against Mercedes. And I mean, I know she's injured, but that's also on Tony for booking her to do promos instead of actually, you know, I don't know, doing the proper thing and, you know, turning her heel right away instead of waiting for God in a century to do it. You know, what does that remind me of? Oh, hi, Swerve. And his freaking group that shouldn't have lasted as long as it did, to be honest, when he turned babyface. Same thing with Ospreay too. Christ, technically he's still part of the Don Callis family. I have no idea what's going on. The shit's a complete mess. So, you know, like, look, I understand why they left. I was one of the people that championed them leaving because, I mean, that locker room was a freaking mess. And a lot of people followed suit as a result of that happening, by the way. I think there was a lot of people that were on the side of them at the time, coworkers-wise, that were outside of those walls finally. But now it's just like, eh. And now here we are, and it's like we're barely doing a thing. And, you know, if supposedly Mercedes' writer is coming in and writing a lot of the storylines, then I got news for you. She ain't doing a great job. Really, the only thing that's going to salvage this whole waiting as long as they did is if they pair her with Stokely Hathaway and Stokely turns on Willow, which already should have happened by now, but, you know.
7 days. We'll see. 7 days.
Well, I mean, they wanted to do it at the pay-per-view is what I assume, and that's when, Mercedes is going to win the championship. I think a lot of people also give Mercedes a lot of shit. It's like, she gets a championship shot right away, and I'm like, a lot of people forget the TNT title and the TBS title were always like that anyway. Like, that's how it's always been. It's just open challenge type of title. So, like, it's whatever. That's fine. It's about the one title I think you could probably get away with doing shit like that. They don't do it with any other title. So, there was at least some consistency there. But, I don't know, man. It's hard to say right now because right now Naomi hasn't really done much other than the 6-woman tag match she had at WrestleMania with Bianca and Jade. And the shining stars of that were Bianca and Jade. So, I don't know. But by default, I would probably say Naomi over Mercedes. So.
There you go.
That's about it for me.
I think everybody's on mute.
Yeah.
I don't know why everyone's on mute. Is this Jeff? You're muted.
Jeff and
Walter, go ahead. Hold on. JJ, speak. Say something.
Yes. Hello.
There we go. There we go. Okay.
Okay.
I hear.
Good. We make sure.
I'm always on mute out of respect. That's
Same.
Same.
Yeah, same. I actually mute my microphone. That's all.
All right. Well, I saw in the chat that Statboy is going to bow out now. He doesn't want to discuss the main event.
Boo him. Boo this man.
For real. Like, he sticks around for 2 topics that he knows jack diddly shit about and can't talk about. And then the 2 where he can wax philosophical, he leaves before one of them.
Yeah, I know.
I might bump my head on a glass desk, but I'm around here until the end, or until Shills, or until my freaking eyes and brain stop working the same time. So, you gotta be more disciplined, man.
Yeah.
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 Shame. Yeah.
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 All right, that's enough. Let's not mess with the staff way anymore. Let him go.
it has been a good time, family. I love joining you guys, but Statboy's got to go to work tomorrow. So follow us on socials at Hathaway Lou, at LBStatKid1977 on the Twitter, Dory Lou and Statboy13 on Instagram. And then come back into the sports bar on Tuesday. We'll have plenty to talk about. NFL schedules came out as well. So that's going to be coming up on Tuesday with 6 teams that I'm going to highlight. One being the Cowboys, of course, for my brother Jeff here. And
my best friend approves.
Of course, the Stanley Cup playoffs are still going on. NHL playoffs are going on. WNBA season just started. There was a breaking news interested in the golf world just yesterday morning. So I will see you all on Tuesday. I love you all, family. Have a great rest of the show. Statboy out.
And then there were 5.
Okay, bye.
It's all about D5, as Booker T once said in a Jamaican accent or something. I don't know.
Oh, God. Booker T was a worse Jamaican than Kofi Kingston.
Sure.
Damn.
Jamaican crazy, Booker.
Tell me what I'm telling lies.
I don't know where to go from there. Oh, yeah, I do. Commercial.
Yeah, commercial.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Gary Hebert, the man, the myth, the legend. I was amazed, and I was looking to become a better skater myself, and I wanted to be like Gary.
When you look at a guy like this, he's one of the most talented people in his profession, he's been given gifts by God.
It can get frustrating at times when you're trying things that, that maybe don't come as quickly to you as other things. And, you never really felt that sense of frustration with Gary. It was always about improvement and positive reinforcement.
Was it really the end? Was that head injury really the end? God has called Gary to continue to be a blessing to others and to be a passionate example.
My name is Gary Hebert, and this is the World Academy of Hockey, otherwise known as the Inside Edge.
I would recommend anybody that have a chance to come to his hockey school. I think it'd be well worth it. It'd be rewarding to all the kids and anyone he coaches, from whether it's an adult, a professional player, to a little kid like a Mike or a Squirt.
Gary, from day one, has been instrumental to my hockey career. I started out as a potential Division III player, and Gary brought me single-handedly through high school and into a top Division I prospect. I owe it all to Gary, the biggest legend on and off ice there's ever been.
Listen, watch, learn, be confident, and have faith. Those are the answers I was brought to. Yet, I only now am really learning how truly important those 5 things are.
Through preparation, through appropriate thoughtfulness and thinking, we can learn to untie the typical knots between our ears that drive us into underachievement and underperformance. And lo and behold, we can learn, I think, to fulfill our God-given potential.
Gary has the innate ability to make people not only better players, but better people. The life lessons they learn from Gary are incredible.
I can always remember leaving that rink knowing as a player I got better, or I had something to improve on to get better. And I think that's what you excelled on as a coach, is giving us the knowledge to know what we needed to do to get better.
There's coaches who know the game, but can you communicate and create passion in your kids and in your players? And Gary's able to do that.
Gary's got great knowledge and the great hands, but more importantly, his ability to connect with people and care for them. His communication skills, to me, really stand out, separate him, and that's why he's one of the best, in the world.
Gary's a legend. He's a special, special man.
Soon, everyone. Very soon.
Boy. And we are back here, open mic night. There's been a lot of talk. It's time for the main event. By the way, Bob Marley was the last real Jamaican. And that being said, we now go to the man whose name is usually on the marquee, but is not for the moment being because of QR code being seen. Jeff, motherfucking Meacham. I just heard a chime, so I guess he's ready to chime in. So let's go to him.
That is true. That is chimes.
Chimes.
I think Jeff is struggling to try and get back on the screen.
You know what's weird? No matter how many times Windows updates their operating system, the Windows system sounds are pretty much still the same every time, just a slightly different tone or pitch.
That's true, except for Windows XP. Those sounds will always be iconic.
Well, Windows XP was the best built system. Vista was a piece of shit. 7 was a tremendous comeback. 8 was crap because they wanted to turn a computer into a mobile phone, and their Nokia phone market went belly up. They didn't do 9. They went to 10, where they tried to bring the best of both worlds. And now we got Windows 11. So there you go. I never messed with Millennium. Millennium? Yeah, that's what it was. I never messed with that one. 95 was the first one I messed with.
You should do a YouTube channel where you just talk about tech.
No. Are you trying to kill my brain? No.
Become the Michael J.D. of the multiverse.
Friggin' CNET and TextRex and Katie Lindor have those worlds covered. I don't need to be part of that.
That's true. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
All right. So now that I've fallen in my living room here and got myself back on my feet here in my chair, it's just been one of those weeks. All right. It is indeed time for the main event. I've been talking about this off and on, privately with most of you for the last couple of weeks now, but it became much more topical this last week. So I forget when the exact date was on the initial announcement. Forgive me. But not too long ago, it was announced that Disney and their subsidiaries, Disney Plus and Hulu, were going to be forming a kind of a, I guess for lack of a better term, a conglomerate with another streaming platform in oh hell, I need to look at the graphic because my brain just did not make that happen all the way because I just got back up. Max, there we go. There it was. And then just this last week, we heard through the news lines that Peacock, Netflix, and Apple TV Plus are going to be being combined under Comcast's umbrella. So basically, especially with what Walter just sent me in the private chat, which is funnier than hell, you've got like a Captain Planet thing going because you've got these six outlets, but 3 on each side. They cost the same as cable used to cost. So cable's making a big comeback without even trying. And the question as it pertains to this show and this channel, this multiverse of media, if you will, is the impact it will have on professional wrestling. Now, to break it down a little, the X style, and we're not going to sit here and do a Cross X half hour because that's just boring at this point. But you already have Max kind of in the game. They are under the Warner Brothers Discovery umbrella, which of course houses TBS and TNT, which currently hosts AEW television programming. There was talk for well over a year that Disney was going to be the one purchasing WWE. So now you've got the arguably the biggest company in the world, Disney, taking their main non-sports streaming services, Disney Plus and Hulu, and uniting with Max, who as of late has been the Warner Bros. Discovery sports outlet. When you have, NHL playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs. Oh, by the way, I was going to call Mikey on it, but I just didn't have the energy. NHL playoffs or Stanley Cup playoffs are the same thing. I think he meant to say NBA playoffs are still going on, except nobody gives a fuck about the NBA, except Walter, because I know he tweets about it during the games.
Fair enough. So to Mikey, botch.
But yeah, botch for Mikey on stats in sports. So you've got that side of the streaming scuttlebutt. On the other side, you've got Netflix, who, as we know, is going to be the new home of Monday Night Raw come January. We also have Peacock factored in, who is the current home of WWE programming, and Apple TV Plus, which has also shown exclusive sports content that doesn't get shown on regular or cable broadcast television. So it looks like to me that as much as the wrestling wars are over in terms of there's never going to be somebody directly competing with WWE again on most fronts, it seems like to me that the television partnerships are going to be very much in competition. You've got Comcast bringing together their entities. You've got the Walt Disney Company bringing together their entities and siding in with Warner Brothers Discovery, which is crazy. For us old dogs in the fight, and that's the upper tier, this is very much akin to the classic three. Back in the 70s and 80s, CBS, NBC, ABC, all, going to war with each other on a, we'll call it a Monday night or a Thursday night, right? Because, Thursday night was Muskie TV, but, there'd always be something to counter program. I'll start with Walter since he is next to me, and I feel like so because he haven't gone first yet tonight, so I'm going with you. And JJ's, otherwise occupied. What do you think about all this? Because there's been a lot of chatter about the fact that we all were pretty much conditioned to convert from cable to streaming. And now here we are, paying the same amount of money for all these streaming platforms, all these, outlets as we were for cable back in the day, if not more. And to add to from the chat, the NFL is going to be exclusively on Netflix on Christmas Day, which for us football fans is like, oh shit.
What?
Now we have to have Netflix. Wrestling fans, we're going to have Netflix come January 1st because of Monday Night Raw. But it's like, damn, if you're a football fan, you want to watch your football on Christmas, you're kind of limited here. But Walter, what say you about this? We'll start with you.
I would football can be on Christmas.
Interesting world we live in now. How things have changed from what we grew up on and cable and changing channels. We thought we got away from it, and it finds its way back without actually existing. I don't know. It's a weird conglomerate. Now the whole Netflix with Peacock, that actually makes sense for WWE because the PLEs are still going to be on Peacock, and I think there's going to be, from what I read, grain of salt because it could be a rumor. WWE is kind of trying to do some kind of combination where you can get Netflix and Peacocks for one price because of that WWE deal, which makes a hell of a lot of sense for WWE fans.
I was gonna say they lucked the hell out of that deal, huh?
Yeah, they worked that one, and who knows what UFC does in the future. I wish, because those pay-per-views add up for me to do watch-alongs. I wish they would do something with streaming and at least the lesser known or the not the pay-per-views, but the fight nights. Maybe make a deal with the streaming services to do the fight nights instead of having to be on the ESPN app all the time. Do something since it's under the same TKO umbrella. But it almost seems like these big streaming, they're kind of pushing AEW to the side. And that might go back to our previous topic of what we said with the whole all testing it all in one market, because it might be their last hope, because Warner Brothers might pull out of TNA event. I mean, sorry, not TNA, AEW eventually. And say, you're not bringing the ratings that we need you to bring, terminate contract here. And then Tony Khan is SOL on it. So
or the other option to that, Walter, just to add to your point, they're trying to save money in the short term because they're actually going to go streaming services in the long term.
Right.
That could also be a thing.
Before I throw to the next person for a full discussion, joining us after her day at Comic-Con, who did that again for?
I didn't do it.
Yeah, you did. You lie.
No,
okay.
I'm literally not there.
You know what? It's on loop. That's why. That's my bad. That's my bad.
Yeah, it does that by
anyway.
default. Damn StreamYard.
And it is damn StreamYard. Joining us from her first day at Comic-Con International, where she got to meet Team Bestie in the wrestling world, here is our own Datilla.
What's up, you guys?
How are you, Datilla? Good to see you.
I'm exhausted.
I believe it. You had a day, girl.
I was up at the ungodly hour of 6:30 in the morning to prepare for Comic-Con on Revolution.
That's the burden of a press pass, my dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta commit to it.
So how we're gonna divert from the main event here, since Attila is here with her Comic-Con International report. How was the panel with Trish and Lita, and how were they to meet afterwards?
So the panel with Trish and Lita was a lot of fun. We were not allowed to record that because they didn't want us to record. So, respected their wishes. But it was a lot of fun. It was really funny. And they were really awesome to meet. So it was definitely cool. If anybody ever gets a chance to meet Trish and Lita, I highly recommend it. They're really awesome.
Did you get to catch the panel with Denise and Samoa Joe as well?
I did both, and I actually recorded Samoa Joe's panel.
Oh, so perfect. Okay, cool.
I took a while because I was editing it together and
cool.
putting stuff. I think it's a really great panel. I think you guys will enjoy it. I think everybody will enjoy it. Talked about a lot of stuff.
And how was the birthday girl Denise today throughout the day?
She was fine. I only saw her at the panels, and then I don't know.
Right.
Probably working. She's probably busy. She's probably
tired too. Even on her birthday, she's the hardest working woman in Hollywood. I swear to God, she's crazy.
Stop. Done with the interview, and then off to the next interview.
I love it. Well, it is awesome that you got to go to that. I'm happy you got to go experience that. Like I said, if money and timing were a thing, the dads would have been out there with you. We are talking right now in our main event about the two different what do you call it? The streaming bundles that have been announced here recently. One with Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max teaming up, and the other one now that was announced this week with Netflix, Peacock, and Apple Plus TV uniting under Comcast and how it's going to affect wrestling. I don't know if you've kept up with any of that news, but do you have anything to say on that before I pass to one of the guys?
I have kept up with the news. I'm sorry, but isn't that a monopoly?
Well, it's definitely two very large companies, but it's not just one company running everything. So it's not a monopoly yet.
Keyword.
I just feel like it's kind of ridiculous that all of these things are bundling together because not everybody needs or wants everything.
Right.
You know,
why people got away from cable and satellite.
Exactly. That's why people got away from cable and satellite. Like the only reason I have Peacock is for the network, but I don't use it. I don't even use my own Netflix.
Right.
You know, everybody else uses my Netflix besides me.
Last time I used Netflix was the Tom Brady roast because that shit was hilarious.
The last time I used Netflix was to watch Cosmic Fury. Cosmic Power Rangers.
And
Cosmic
my
Fury.
mom was watching Orange is the New Black.
Wasn't the new Power Rangers movie the reunion movie on Netflix as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Noah, I didn't know you were watching Tess. Were you watching it with one Z or two?
Ask my mother because she was watching it. I wasn't. The last thing I watched with my mom was the Korean GPS going off during vacation, and that just broke me like shit.
Ah, true. That's true. Amen to that.
Mr. Williams, welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, we brought the tail in from the command center because she just got back from her Comic-Con International Day. We were talking briefly about her attending the panels with Trish and Alita, and he actually had to record the panel with Samoa Joe, so that'll be on her channel here soon.
Yes, I heard all that. I didn't have the headset plugged in, so I could still hear you.
Okay. Thinking ahead. I like it. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and throw to you, sir, since you just stepped back into the fray here. You know, I threw it to you first. Well, I threw it to the group first, but you and I talked about it a little bit more. That, you know, you and I was watching before you, but you know, you and I both grew up in the era that the wrestling wars were dictated by cable. That's just the way it was. Nitro was on the Turner Network. WWE's on the Turner Networks. WWE, for lack of a better term, was on USA and whatever the hell network SmackDown ended up on that week. Well, UPN for that week, and then the next week it was Sci-Fi or My Network or Me or whatever the fuck. Yeah. But you know, you and I also talked about, because we lived together and we had to think about these kind of cost-cutting effects, the idea of cutting the cable cord and switching to streaming in the last, we'll call it 5-6 years, maybe even 10. And now it's like, well, shit, the whole point of that was to reduce costs. And now I've shown you my bills for the streaming that we do over here on the Meacham side of things, which are ridiculous at this point. We're paying the same amount, but as wrestling fans, it's like, well, we almost, as wrestling related content creators, I should say, you almost have to, right?
Damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it comes down to one very simple variable. If AEW doesn't land on Max, why the fuck do I care?
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, if we don't start seeing stuff from AEW on Max the way we see WWE on the Peacock, why do I care?
You won't care, Randy.
At the end of the day, I care more of the fact that the same bundle is going to have Marvel and DC. Because Disney Plus has the Marvel movies and Max has the DC movies.
Which means that for the first time, Warner and Disney might actually come together and do an Avengers versus Justice League, which would be sick. Not gonna lie.
It would be the most anticipated crossover since Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
That's right.
Now that I remember from my childhood.
That's about once was a wee lad.
Yes, when I was once a wee lad, that was one of my favorite movies to watch nonstop.
But yeah, that's really what it comes down to for me. And I hate to be so blunt and matter of fact about it, but when they decide to announce AEW's newest deal, since they weren't mentioned at the upfronts, Once again.
Yeah, that was brought up on the whatever the hell show it was this week, and I went, "That's right, they weren't."
So if we don't get them going to Max, I could give a fuck less.
Yep.
From the wrestling fan side of things, absolutely.
Well, yeah, because the context and the way this topic was presented is, what does it mean for wrestling?
Yeah.
If AEW doesn't land on Max, it means nothing.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, very matter of factly, it means shit.
Yeah, no, it does. And it's the shitty thing is, for folks like me who, already subscribe to this, it becomes very much, it's really much ado about nothing either way.
Yeah. And it can't just be AEW.
No.
It needs to be AEW and Ring of Honor.
Yes.
And I realize Ring of Honor has its own app. They have Honor Club, all that good shit. But if you're going to streamline the AEW library on the Max, put Ring of Honor on there too.
Yeah.
All under one umbrella. It's the Tony Khan, Shad Khan company conglomerate. Put all the product together.
Make it a hub on Max.
You go to the WWE side on Peacock, and I can see World Class. I can see WCW. I can see ECW. I can see AWA. I can see all the libraries WWE owns, not just their own. Let me see Ring of Honor.
Yeah. That's a valid point. If you're going to offer a bundle and you're going to have Max be different than having the Disney or the Hulu content, which essentially are the same thing now. God, the frickin' Disney Plus opening looks like the Hulu colors now, so the same goddamn thing at this point.
And then you got to figure out how TNA is going to factor into it.
Well, right, and that's I was going to bring that up when I threw to the next person, but I will gladly take that segue and run with it. First, if you're gonna actually include the con products, then you throw them on a little, one of the hubs on Max. It sounds like you're downplaying it, but no, you're making it part of the overall package. With WWE, if they are definitely moving to Netflix as far as Monday Night Raw, doesn't mean SmackDown. SmackDown's going to stay on USA, which is still a Peacock under NBC or Universal or whatever entity. So I think having Raw be live on Netflix, but still have the on-demands be under that Peacock hub on WWE. If you're in the United States, if you're around the world, you're losing your WWE network for the first time in 10 years. You're no longer going to have this exclusive WWE only app. So if you're in other parts of the world besides the lower 48, and I think Alaska and Hawaii also have the Peacock option now, not WWE Network anymore, you're going to have to go to Netflix for your WWE content, I think. I don't know if it was ever really made clear what's going to happen with the WWE Network if you're not in the United States. Have they said that the Netflix can absorb everything? Because I don't think that was ever made crystal clear. Maybe we need to get somebody in on the media call about that. I don't know.
I can't imagine they would now if they're just going to get Peacock with it. They could probably just keep it on Peacock if they're all going to be a part of the same umbrella.
Well, that's my point. If Comcast is gung-ho and going forward with this, then there's number one, there's no real need to do anything except have, stick with what you've got, because Raw and SmackDown don't go up on the network or Peacock or whatever until a month after the fact anyway.
Right.
So you're not changing anything. I mean, JJ, you put it very bluntly. It means jack and shit, this whole thing, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up and have it be a main event type topic. Is it really a big deal at the end of the day as people are making it? I don't think it is.
No,
I really don't, because
people are blowing it up way out of proportion.
And for me at least, wrestling fan or not, I'm still going to use Disney Plus because I'm still going to use Hulu because they're going to pay the $75 a month for the Hulu Live. I'm going to watch my shit live, whatever. Like, okay, I'll do that. I use Max. Thank you, Big G. I use Netflix occasionally. Again, that Brady roast was gold. But I'll be watching Netflix for Raw now for sure, and I'm sure I'll be checking out the other original content they're going to have on there now. That's fun.
And NFL, yeah.
Well, NFL on Christmas Day, it really depends on what house the kiddo is in this year. I think he's with us this year. I'm not sure. I'll have to check my calendar when I get off the air. But we're probably watching at least one of the football games.
Yeah. Sure.
Apple TV Plus. I think we only ever signed up for that because Spectrum lost the exclusivity to the Dodgers. Honest to God. And a certain other household near JJ wanted access to the Dodger games that they didn't have. I mean, really, that's what it came down to. Okay, I'll get that because of that. So it really is much ado about nothing. If you're already subscribed to them, it really doesn't matter. But if you're a wrestling fan that has to make a decision you haven't had to make yet, meaning if you're not in the United States, then it's a more palpable discussion, I guess. So it would have been good to have an international panel, I guess, for this one, because to the point of the chat room, international will likely get Netflix for WWE. So we'll see what happens, but I'll ask James and Noah if they have anything further to add to it, or is it just kind of again run out of the room with the same bullshit, different wording?
I got some stuff to add because I have a solution for AEW's problem because the big issue with AEW is, and I think while the hate of AEW is valid, we do have to keep in mind that they are also a very new company, so they're only like 5 years old. They only got like 5 years worth of history by itself.
Sure.
So then all you really have is Ring of Honor. Now, this is where, if I'm AEW and you have all these partnerships, which they do, you got partnerships with New Japan for now, at least. AAA and CMLL for now, at least. And, you got partnerships with DDT, and you've gotten most of your stars from PWG. Why not put all those companies and put them on the Max app under the wrestling section or the AEW section, so that way they discover these companies and go and check them out? Like, instead of New Japan having Strawn on, say, New Japan World, they move it over to an exclusive deal with HBO Max. Just a thought. I mean, these are things that AEW should work with Turner on, if Turner even feels like they want to work with him anymore. At this point, that's up in the air.
Well, but before you continue on, as far as PWG goes, their bread and butter is DVDs and Blu-rays. They're not going to go to streaming unless the whoever I believe it's still Super Dragon and I forget who else was. Huh?
I don't think it's Excalibur, right?
No, I don't think so. But I know their primary income, especially with them not running live shows right now, is still. JJ has hand in the air, so I assume he has an answer for me.
I don't have an answer, but I have a statement or a question.
Oh, yes, sir.
I was going to piggyback on what you were starting to touch on, and the fact that they're not running live shows, the fact that Super Dragon, whether it's financially or emotionally or physically, just doesn't seem to have his heart into running them anymore.
Right.
It's going to come to a point where DVD sales are going to dry up because there's no new product. Most people aren't going back and buying, Taste the Radness or,
right.
The Secret of the Ooze or Keep the Pee Out of the Pool. Yes, these are actual show titles.
Yes.
They're not going back and buying these because those days are done.
Right.
So to transfer that library to Max, where the Jacksons are, where Excalibur is, where these guys that have history in Guerrilla are performing on a weekly basis. Christopher Daniels, Matt Seidel, Pac.
Yep.
The list goes on, but these are just some of the ones that really cut their teeth there when I was there.
Right.
It makes perfect sense because you're not really gonna make the money anymore on those DVD sales.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to deal with essentially Deadlock Pro for getting like 5 of their guys on the AEW video game recently.
You know,
Like,
and as far as what James was saying, as far as they're a 5-year-old company, that may be true, but that means you've got 5 years worth of Dynamite.
Sure.
You've got all Rampages, all Collisions. You've got whatever it is, 9 or 10 Battle of the Belts now.
True.
Plus the pay-per-view library.
Yeah.
Like there's actually a lot more than you think of when you slice the pie and you think about all the sub hubs.
Yeah, and if you make the pay-per-views like $10 less, you can have people pay the $9.99 and then the $49.99 for the pay-per-view or whatever they do.
Or even just make the subscription fee $24.99 and give the pay-per-views away.
Right, you could have a tier for that, yeah.
Because I'm sure Noah would be more than happy to pay $25 a month as opposed to chilling out $50 for the pay-per-views.
Mm.
I think we're moving toward that too, Jay. I know Noah's going to answer it, but I think having them be available on Triller TV as opposed to, damn it, Walter. As a, he's
not wrong.
Not wrong. That's the sad part of it, son of a bitch. Having them available outside of Bleacher Report, I think is the first step to lowering cost while widening availability.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Or even, if you want to keep your big four $50, cool. The other 8 a year that it looks like you're leaning towards and starting to head down the yellow brick road towards, $25 a pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do a package.
Yeah. TNA does it.
True that.
Buy the whole quarter of pay-per-views for $100.
Yep.
3 pay-per-views per quarter.
Yeah. Nothing else with it. Those are just some ideas that we have rattled off. I started it. We all finished it. Unless, Noah, you got something.
Which one's Boardwalk? Which one's Park Place? I'm confused.
Boardwalk has to be the one WWE's involved in, if we're being real.
That's fair. Most expensive.
Granted, Disney's involved in the one AEW's in, and Disney is like, Mickey Mouse is fucking Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh.
But
that sounds like Legend of Tech.
But you got to kind of consider Boardwalk is going to be the one with WWE.
That's fair. 400, 350, and then Disney's the luxury tax. Got it. Okay. So as far as this goes, it's
not
streaming.
wrong, folks.
It's streaming. It's a la carte. You do what you wish. I only paid $10 a month because the only service I have right now is Ring of Honor because NWW right now doesn't have a lot going for me. And based on a service I found online, thank you, Internet Archive, I literally watch Noah, Sendai, Stardom, New Japan, Ring of Honor, TNA, and AEW for nothing. Besides that, we have Sling, and that's a split between me and my mom, who uses it much more than me. And then she has 2 streaming services right now. She has Showtime with Paramount and Max. So to me, it's just one of those things where it's like you go where your content is. And besides, it doesn't matter because they're going to raise the prices on you. Peacock already raised their prices by $2 more, or they're going to here pretty soon. So they basically got you literally by the balls. So it's just a matter of where is more of your content going to go where you don't feel like you're being circumcised. So,
I will say we are all thinking this is a hypothetical. Excuse me, almost bossed there. When it comes to AEW and like going to streaming, we have to be realistic, and I understand we're fans of wrestling and we don't want to see this happen, but there's a very good chance that Warner isn't even considering AEW in the plans.
Trust me, I know.
For the streaming services. And I say that because, you guys already touched on it. They're not even being mentioned front and center in the conference call, whatever they're doing. they're really not as much of a fixture as they were anymore. And I think a lot of that has to do with what we've been talking about. It's kind of been a theme for what feels like forever. Tony mouth and foot syndrome, or Tony's foot in mouth syndrome, whatever you want to say.
Botch.
So there is that. So there's a lot there that's kind of an issue.
Well, it also could be, to counterpoint that, it could be that they weren't part of the upfronts because they're not going to be relegated to actual television time.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, if they transfer the content over to the app and you get all new content exclusively on the Max app, then that means they could actually run more episodes of Bean Bag Theory that actually, you know, draw ratings for them.
Bazinga.
Yeah.
But the last
You know,
5 minutes
basically be like how NWA's on the CW app exclusive.
True.
I
It's
wonder
not
how
live
it affects
either.
the
Yeah,
grandfathering stuff, because it's like Hulu, I don't pay for it because of my wife's cell phone company. I don't pay for Peacock because of my cell phone company. So I don't know if this gets affected by that stuff.
Well, streaming services have to be aware of the loopholes people have found to avoid paying the prices that they're going to continue to fluctuate going into towards the next fiscal year. So they're, you know, building harder barriers. There's a reason why a lot of these streaming services, for example, are like only one device per person unless you do another tier plan, or they literally customize their app like that. NJPW World literally customized their entire interface to be just for one device only on an account. And TNA Plus is the same way as well. I still use YouTube more than TNA Plus.
Which, by the way, most consumers that have that are not happy about that.
Yeah, no shit. I'm not surprised.
Like anybody that, like, put it this way, it's one thing if you're like, oh, we don't like freeloaders. The problem is, if the person paying is willing to give it out to somebody, that shouldn't be any of your business. I don't like big business getting in the way of shit like that.
This is the internet, James. There is nothing sacred about it.
Oh, I know. Oh, trust me, I know. Ugh. Anyway.
So, yeah, just put a house on whatever property you prefer, build 4 in a row, turn it into a hotel, and you're good. Then hopefully someone lands on it.
Monopoly?
Yeah, I like Monopoly. Yeah. Although I always sucked when I have it. I guess the most expensive Monopoly, but no one lands on the shit.
Yeah.
Boardwalk?
Yes, Boardwalk.
Yeah.
The bullshit
Park
property.
Place, I think?
Yeah.
What?
Boardwalk and Park Place, I think, was the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The most
that's
expensive.
a scam.
It's always a scam.
It's always a scam. Everybody trades for that, and you fucking lose because you spent $200 on a house that nobody lands on. It's bullshit.
And also, fuck the railroad tax.
You wouldn't believe how many people I spanked with Mediterranean and Baltic. The two dark purple ones on the other side of Go.
The cheapest?
Uh-huh.
How the hell did you...
Because you don't hit Boardwalk and Park Place, but you pass Go, and bam, there you go. You land right there.
You know what? $250 on one of those properties versus income tax that takes the $200 right from you. That's on the next spot over. So you're actually brilliant. Actually, that does.
You guys are bringing up traumatizing experiences from Monopoly. I
My
want to flip the table over right now.
I used to play people in the game room of City College for legitimate money. We would throw down like no. We would throw down like $20 to see who would win, like gambling on the game.
That would be hilarious. You guys are playing Monopoly with actual money.
No, not like that. That's why I wanted to clarify.
I kid you not. Rooster Teeth before they
Maybe
went
if you were going to university, we'd have that kind of money. But City College, man, we're poor.
Hardcore Monopoly. Yeah, hardcore Monopoly. Everybody has $1,500 cash. And only one person gets the entire spread of everybody's wealth because they have to force them to be bankrupt.
Well, but no, we would actually gamble on who would win, and I would clean up.
My strategy was always make sure I have the orange and the red. That entire quarter is mine. Y'all are fucked.
I tried to have that inaugural robe Mediterranean, Baltic, and then those light blues.
Yeah, Connecticut,
Oriental, and Vermont.
Yep, you got.
What was your playing piece? Was it the money
the
bag,
car.
the shoe?
It was always the car.
Always the car. Oh yeah.
Always.
The car, right?
Fixing the
Chicks love
car.
the car.
I like the top hat. Top hat's pretty dope.
Not Battleship, because I'm just going to literally sail through the competition. Anyway.
I mean, you could
Spades
just
and
get a
Monopoly.
battleship.
My family would kill you over.
I'm gonna use the thimble later on because it was because Dylan adopted Peter Pan as his favorite movie, and the thimble meant a kiss.
It's too bad we can't figure out a way to turn Monopoly into an open mic night game night. It just would.
Oh my god.
Dude, there's a reason. Part of the reason this is up still is because there's more marks in this wall from the game board being tossed across the room for Monopoly. All right, we don't need to be doing that shit in front of people.
No. It's easy. We find a digital version and share screen it.
What?
Yeah,
God damn! What are you doing? What? Why? Oh,
I would rather us all still remain friends.
Here's what we'd have to do: is we'd have to set a time limit.
Yes.
Game nights go for that first hour. So it'll be whoever gets the most money in an hour.
The custom rules, Walter. If you got Monopoly on your PlayStation 5, hit me up. Let's play a game.
Okay. So real quick, I got one Monopoly story, and then we can move on.
Oh my god.
Noah actually brought up Rooster Teeth, so we can segue back. But so I played Monopoly with Tom and a friend of mine that shall not be named because we're no longer friends. But while we were friends, we would be assholes to Tom because we would essentially what would happen is we would essentially buy out the properties because Tom wasn't exactly the brightest businessman in the room. So we would we would buy out all the best properties. So I'd buy the cheaper ones, and then my other dude would buy the more expensive. And then eventually we would just like look at each other, like, make the deal now. And then we would just combine our assets and do like a merger. Like in mid-game, completely against the rules, and just we shake hands. And then we just we split it amongst ourselves, and then we win the game, and that's it.
Did anybody ever play digital Monopoly where you got the debit card instead of cash?
Yeah, that's the one we played. Yeah.
I never played those newfangled high-tech Monopolies, unless it was like on the video game system. But like, for me, it was the OG board and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Have any of you guys ever played? Walter probably has played this, but I don't have any of you guys ever played Loteria?
No.
Play what?
Loteria. No.
No. All right. Well, anyway, so again, that's
that shit died in midair.
No. And he says it in Spanish. No.
No.
I guess to make it wrestling related, we need a Stanford, a Jacksonville, a Nashville, a Tokyo that we have to buy out.
The only alternate,
basically.
The only alternate I've played is Monopoly Junior when the kids were little. I mean, like little, because it's for like preschool and below. Right. And then not too many years ago, they did like this thing where they did like various city centric Monopoly versions, and we actually have the Santa Clarita version of Monopoly.
Different versions.
For the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers, he did a Power Rangers Monopoly.
I was about to ask.
I have it. I never opened it. It's in my closet somewhere in there, but I never opened it. But it had in the front cover was every Red Ranger from Mighty Morphin up until that.
Oh my god!
Don't tell Jason. He'll cut a CM Punk style promo. You're gonna try and sell it on eBay because you're too lazy to go get a real job.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's what Jason would say.
That's probably held up as a Agent Relic. It probably has some value to it. Some people collect that stuff. Can you imagine somebody collecting every Monopoly board out there possible?
Don't be surprised. There could be people like that.
I had a few different ones of them when they started doing the specialty theme ones, but an old roommate of mine made me get rid of a couple. They were like, "You only need one version of Monopoly." No, it's like, no. One is Pirates of the Caribbean. One is the Beatles. One is the Beatles' Yellow Submarine. You hush up and let me have my versions.
That's right.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
agree.
I'm pretty sure that same roommate just got a different version of Operation based on Oogie Boogie for Mother's Day, so she can go suck it.
Wow.
Just saying.
I never knew Operation had another version. I always thought that was a standalone.
Yeah, same.
Well, I did too, but when you walk into Charlie Brown's up here in the boonies and realize, oh, you forgot her damn Mother's Day gift, you'll never hear the end of that shit for the rest of time. So you walk into the back the area. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Ooh, Nightmare Before Christmas corner. That one works.
We have gone so far left. By the way,
that's okay.
It's crazy that board games and DVDs have become such irrelevant forms anymore of sought-after commodities now that everything is digital. So, yeah, at this point, if a streaming service has content that entices you, people are going to go to it.
Yeah,
I have the best reply to this super chat in the history of the world.
Well, let's go ahead and acknowledge that we've got a couple others that have been starred and saved from Emmanuel, but since this was just brought up, I went ahead and threw it up as it popped up.
Yes.
26.2 miles outside of parts unknown with the $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Again, love the name.
Yes.
How do you pronounce that again, Datilla?
Loteria.
Thank you.
The fact that the person that knows about it is in parts unknown. That's why I didn't get it. Anyway,
That's the only way you play for money. I don't know how you could play any other way.
Do you play it 26.2 miles out of parts unknown, Datilla?
With Monopoly money.
With
No,
You
you
play
play for real money. I paid
miles from
25
Mexico.
cents per card.
25
Damn.
cents. Wait, so 25
Damn,
cents
I
times
roll over here.
25 cents times 52 equals. No. We are not going down that road.
No. The way it works is you pay 25 cents per card, and you play la línea or la llena, which means you either get a line or you get the full card.
Huh?
And we used to pay this at like 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and I'm having to give up my little chump change for this crap.
My roguelike poker video game makes more sense than this.
Man, the spelling bee is going crazy.
Oh, no, there's actually different versions of Operation. There's Star Wars, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
For our deaf audience, if you're watching closed captions, we apologize in advance for this shit. 'Cause everybody's going, "What the fuck's happening at home now?" You know.
We're gonna create Monopoly here. Open mic, open game night. I swear we're gonna do it.
It's like the kid from Vaughn, Iridocyclitis.
What the fuck you said it? How you said it? What just happened?
That's literally how the kid said it. It was a spelling bee clip. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
That's no spelling bee. No one plays those anymore. Anyway, what are super chats do we have?
Yeah, there you
go. Please read the super chats. My goodness.
All right. Well,
Money
the first
good.
one we got from Emmanuel, $2
Okay.
super chat.
Yes.
Is AEW still the savior that it originally was?
Easy answer, no.
Savior is a strong word. I go with what I simply say about the business. You offer opportunity, you're doing something.
Yeah.
What you do starting after that opportunity, God help you.
It went from savior to needing saving.
Yes.
Accurate.
I think the idea that AEW was never a savior for the wrestling industry is such a stretch. I think that was one of the things I actually really disagree with Bischoff about. Because without AEW, we don't get the Roman Reigns tribal chief, because Vince was scared to death he was going to leave for AEW. So he was trying to do everything he could to keep him. So without that, I don't think we get the tribal chief. So there is that. Plus, it gives more opportunities for people to work. So there is that.
Yeah, I mean, let's again, we shit on so much, and I know it's unintentional, but it's just the context sometimes of what the conversation becomes. A lot of good has come with AEW existing in the business, and there still is good in it. It's just a matter of capitalizing on it.
No, I agree.
I don't think anyone would disagree with that statement.
No, I will always stand by that, and that is the absolute truth of it. I also counter with, there is one very prominent individual who now considers himself a royalty in his original home promotion. I'm not going to throw his name under the bus on here on the air, but he purposely left AEW and went back to TNA with
I know who you're talking about.
with complete vim and vigor. And at the end of the day, he did it without shit talking AEW on the way out, which was the classiest way to do it. He did not outwardly shit talk the company. He definitely mentioned it, but he didn't outwardly, throw them under the bus. So good on him for it. But I think that as much as their existence was a catalyst for change in the industry, much like the evolution of Eastern Championship Wrestling into ECW, I think that 5 years later, we're going, WWE changed what was bad and enhanced what was good about their product. And now they're back where they have always been, on top of the heap.
It's very much what happened with WWF and WCW.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is why
started, exposed the flaws in WWF Raw.
Yep.
Launched the New World Order.
Yep.
Dominated for 83 weeks. WWF changed what they were doing. Gave their product a little bit more attitude.
Yep.
And took over the ratings and never looked back.
And the rest is history.
Which is why people that get up Eric Bischoff's ass about, oh, well, he's just bitter and WCW failed too. It's like, no, he's the most qualified guy to talk about what's going on right now.
Because he failed at it.
And
right, it's tired of talking about it.
And I'm not trying to bring up old shit because I know we don't want to discuss it.
No.
But the WCW giving away that Mick Foley was about to win the championship.
Oh my God.
That is akin to Brawl Out.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the moment everything changed.
That and then if that was Brawl Out,
literally pinpoint it to that.
Yeah.
That's the moment everything changed.
Accurate.
Yeah.
In the public eye, that is an absolute true statement because people can see that and know it's true and know it exists. That as much as that previous year or the previous 9 months had been the start of the decline, once WCW underestimated the power of the people. No, I'm not talking about you, you asshole. And their love of Mick Foley. I gotta do at least one. I'm being so nice to his stepdaughters right now. I gotta get one in.
I don't blame him.
Anyway,
I've never heard that ever
whatever.
said by you. That was tremendous.
Well, the flu helps with the accent. I'll tell you that right now. If I had legit strep throat, I probably would sound exactly like him at this point. Anyway, WCW Bischoff. I'll totally throw him under the bus here. Bischoff underestimated the people's love in Mick Foley.
Right.
And because they had promised us a main event that never actually was going to happen, and if you look, they still switched back after Mick won the title after that show went off the air because they wanted to see Goldberg get his revenge. And it was like, nope, we're just going to give you the NWO again. And that, exactly to JJ's point, that was the moment when we went, yeah, this is never going to get any better. And I still maintain that had legs had they not been riddled with injury right after that, but that's neither here nor there now, 25 years after the fact. AEW still has a chance to pull the nose up. They still got an amazing array of young, healthy talent.
Yeah.
And even the people that they are pushing on the regular that have been around for a while aren't riddled with various afflictions of the body, so they can still get in there and work. There is a chance for AEW to not necessarily be a savior of the business, but to get themselves back on track. They just have to want to. And by they, I mean Tony Khan. I mean the people he has around him spewing whatever they're spewing in his ear. Because right now, it's not going to happen. I will say this, and Dattila, you were around 3 people that have been directly or indirectly involved with both companies today. I got to see pictures and video from people other than you. Trish and Amy look a hell of a lot happier with their lives as WWE ambassadors and legends than Samoa Joe does with his current role in AEW. He seems like a much more sullen person than do the besties.
I will say that Samoa Joe always looks that way, though. He's looked that way ever since he got a stick on his face. Let's be real.
But JJ and I can attest to when Samoa Joe's having a good time with the company he's working for, having a good time in his life, he will show it. He's a very expressive, happy-go-lucky Samoan when he wants to be.
And even then, he looks angry still.
Not all Samoans are constantly angry, despite what people might think.
No.
Yeah, and we're not talking about his in-ring performances.
No.
We've got to talk about outside of. Go look at Samoa Joe and his attitude during his TNA run.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Joe was on top of the world. He was Ring of Honor champion. He was just starting TNA, and we almost couldn't get him to shut up. He was so giddy back in 04, 05.
The NWA championship.
Right?
Won the title.
Yeah. And now it's just one of those, like I said, one of the best people I've ever met in wrestling. And again, you're going to know who it is, but I'm trying very hard to not throw that person under the bus. Voluntarily left what was a good contract and what was a good situation to go back somewhere else where the future was to be determined. He's having a great run. That's very telling for me. When somebody that I put that much value and that much stock in makes that kind of decision, that's the concept that makes me go, Anyway. What was the other question from Emmanuel now that we've gone completely off and railed on this one?
I mean, it wasn't completely off because it was about the whole context. At the end of the day, is AEW a change that everybody was holding up to such a degree that delivered and still is or still can? You basically summed up all 3 points and preferences, the then, the now, and the what could be.
Yep.
All right, moving on.
Emmanuel's other super chat for $2 says, how long has AEW been talking to Max?
Maxwell Jacob Friedman or HBO Max?
Yes, that's a great question.
He's talking about HBO Max, but it's now just Max.
Oh, I see.
The nice one, James. Let's be honest here. If you guys have endured, and to Denise Salcedo, God bless your sanity.
Right.
If you guys have endured a Tony Khan media call where he has been asked about this insert number of times here, there's your answer. As long as they've been going up against Bleacher Report, suck-ass interface, and wanting a change, which resulted right now in Trio TV, which I'm glad for, thank Christ, because that worked out beautifully for Dynasty. It's got to be at least a year now, if not more, a year and a half.
I was going to say possibly even more, because I feel like we've had this conversation about it ever since I started watching AEW.
And you started last year.
No, a little bit over, because it was about, I've been up here in the high desert for 2 years now.
Oh, that's right. Because
and it was about when I came up here that I started watching it.
You were there when the freaking Kenny Omega lost his title to Hangman. Yeah.
To be fair, I think
Hangman was already champion when I started watching.
Okay, so
we were going into the Punk story.
So what? Okay, gotcha.
Oh, you came in at a great time, JJ.
Yeah, 2022. So yeah, he's right. Continue.
I will say
really quickly. I'm seeing in the private chat that Dattila needs to bounce out, so if she wants to go ahead and say goodbye.
Okay.
Yeah, bye guys. I'm really tired.
I don't blame you.
Since 6:30 this morning.
Are you going to be back at the con again tomorrow?
No, just today, because today were the panels, which is what I really wanted to do. So.
I say, don't know why we added the other.
It's Jeff fighting Jeff.
Yeah, so.
Sorry.
This is why we say let me produce.
I was trying to produce. I was trying to unmute my damn self.
Bro, that triggered my autism so bad. Like, you have no idea. I don't like loud noises typically. You wouldn't know it looking at me. But when that happened, oh my God. It triggered something I haven't felt in years.
You need to get
You want to see what Jeff's face looked like when that happened?
Yeah.
When he got us all?
That is not true.
true.
That is not true.
I got to
wasn't-
figure out a way to work that in there.
It's true that he believes. We haven't said his name, so hey, I approve. Especially since he spoiler alert for those that haven't watched. If you haven't watched, Dan, you're foolish. Joe Hendry won the match for his team this Thursday. Give this man the championship.
I agree.
Hey, you know what? Whatever championship he wins or doesn't win, he got JJ to believe. That's a championship win for all time.
True
Joe
that.
Henry's a world champion.
Yes, TNA World Champion Joe Hendry.
Considering he got like top 10 on Spotify, I think he kind of deserves it. He's probably gotten TNA the most press it's gotten since Scott D'Amore left.
Accurate.
All right, guys. I am gonna bounce, and I'll see you guys next time.
She's already powering down as it is, so there you go.
Powering
Yeah.
down.
Okay,
Take care.
bye.
Get some rest.
Good night.
JJ,
We need like the communicator for when she wants to come in, and then like the teleport when she actually does come in.
yeah, right.
Right.
Also, JJ suggests
We need that sound.
Get soundbite. Get the actual zonk sound from Let's Make a Deal.
I'll work on that.
There you go.
There you go. Sorry,
We got to
Wendy.
figure out some stuff that we can delete from here, though, so that we can,
No
load
shit,
on
right?
that stuff.
We could probably just make a whole nother layout called game shows. that could also probably work.
Well, no, because we need that for regular open mic night stuff for when people do fuck ups.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, sorry about
But
that. bud.
anyways,
You're fine.
it seems like it's been a couple of years at least that we've been talking about AEW and a Max deal.
Right.
Like I said, I kind of feel like we've been talking about it at least as long as I've been watching. So
Yeah.
little over 2 years now.
To be fair, I think we all have been talking about it for 2 years, but I think the actual talks or rumors of said talks have been going on for about a year and a half.
Well,
That's probably fair.
Yeah.
Remember, this is the same people that have been, and I'm saying people like it's not us, but the same kind of conversations like, oh, TNA will be dead in a year. They'll be dead in 5 years. And they're still going. AEW getting on a streaming channel exclusively is not the end all be all like we thought it would be at this point in history. Because
No, but I feel like it could really help them.
Enhance.
Yeah, because okay. I know we try not to look at this stuff, but the ratings are going down.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
No, that's true.
You know, their highest rated program in the last 4 or 5 months is the episode where they showed the brawl out footage, or the brawl in footage, I should say.
Yes.
And the common
So
denominator.
an episode with old CM Punk footage is the highest rated episode of the year so far.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
But we've got these game-changing signees, Okada and Osprey and Mercedes, and
two of which they've already neutralized their drawing power, but yeah, continue.
thank you for making my point, James.
So sorry.
he blind tagged JJ and took the win.
That's a good way of putting
This
it.
is why you need to let the host talk.
That's fair. I didn't know. I'm sorry.
But I mean, the ratings are going down and down.
Yeah.
It's not because people aren't interested in the product. I would still say AEW, for the most part, is still a hot product. But you're not going to gain those casual viewers. AEW does not appeal to those spectators.
Nor do they put forth enough of an effort to really try and reach out to said spectators per our full circle conversation here earlier with topic 2, as you basically illustrated. I allude to. Again, I am nothing more but the simple man and a lifelong fan of this. I watch all things wrestling. Shout out to AEW family. There are friends of AEW crew that don't watch all things. There's some that watch, what's native to them, what's known. It might only be WWE. It might be just AEW. It might be WWE and AEW. It goes beyond that in Japan. But basically, not everybody knows everything. Not everybody's willing to take a look at anything. Not everybody is anybody else. So it's one of those things where you really got to look at all approaches. And even under WWE's worst eras, where I was like, why the fuck all does this exist? They reached out to Joe Smo from Kokomo with an advertisement for Schmole or whatever product. So it's like,
And that's what I was just about to get to, is I think that's a big problem, is that, you'll usually it's around WrestleMania season, but you'll see it sporadically throughout the year where you'll see a WWE superstar on Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon or on whatever talk show. You don't really hear about AEW stars doing this.
No.
That's a start, because now you're exposing the superstars to the audience. And the best way to start is by starting with the people that casual fans would recognize. Get Adam Copeland on fucking Jimmy Kimmel. Get Christian Cage. Get Chris Jericho. Get Noah's favorite wrestler, favorite current, longest reigning AEW champion at this point, Jeff Jarrett, onto a show.
Yeah.
Because these guys all have name recognition from the other company.
To like put it over, yeah.
And can be brought onto the shows, and they can start talking about AEW. Like, oh man, weren't you that Edge guy? I remember you. You're in this other company now? When is it on?
Yeah.
Man, I liked watching you over there. Are you doing any of that? You are? You're how old? I'm gonna have to check this shit out.
Yeah, and
that's what it takes. That's how you bring the casual fan to AEW.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, that's not on Tony Khan's radar.
No.
Even if
You've got all these NBA games. You've got all these NBA games on TBS and TNT. Why not trot some of these guys out to a Miami Heat game?
Yep.
Got people from Miami.
AEW's home base is Jacksonville. I know there's not a Jacksonville team. I don't think there's another Florida-based team for the NBA except for Miami. If there is, forgive me. I'm not a basketball guy.
You're asking the wrong person.
I know for you. But let's get some of these guys there courtside for a Heat game.
True that.
Mercedes did it for the
Snoop Dogg sometimes joins the commentary booth on a Kings game. Let's get freaking Adam Copeland or Christian Cage, a couple of Canadians, who grew up around hockey, around a Tampa Bay Lightning game,
Yeah.
Throwing it out there.
Networking. At bottom line, networking. AEW is not doing enough networking to expand their brand. And if they don't do that, they will not progress further than we believe they should. Sunday's going to be a really interesting, as we're now 1 week officially away from Double Up. Sunday is going to be very interesting now that we're going back to where it all began, when we look at the reception and the perception during and after.
And I really hope they can convince me to keep watching, because right now I have a feeling I'm going to be done with them come that day.
Well, JJ, I honor your decision, my friend, and I honor whatever lies ahead for all of us here in and out of this wrestling business that we're all fans of at the end of the day. And hopefully we just continue to find ways to enjoy it. I do know this. We're always going to find some way to talk about it and then go off the rails.
No, absolutely. And it's only the weekly product I would be giving up. I still would have no problem sitting alongside of you and doing commentary for a watch along or whatever if necessary, because I know James doesn't do the TV programs.
Yeah.
So still going to need someone for Battle of the Belts or that type of stuff.
Alter.
And, I mean, if we need me for a pay-per-view because James won't sit there for a Young Bucks match or whatever,
I definitely won't be.
I'll still sit there and talk it. I'll talk shit about him the whole time.
Well, I mean, it's anarchy.
I actually drove past Nick Jackson's house the other day.
No, you didn't.
Really?
Ask Jeff.
That's crazy.
On the way to work, or like just purposely drove there?
I was doing an Uber Eats order that took me in that neck of the woods.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
Ranch
Forget
Cucamonga.
they live up here in the high desert.
Oh.
He even said that in the promo about how they got out of Rancho Cucamonga and bought mansions in the high desert. They said that at the
Japan show.
Yeah, the New Japan show. Resurgence.
Resurgence. Yep, you're right.
Yep.
I totally forgot about that.
While they
comment.
were doing that, I freaking Googled and I found Nick Massey and Matt Massey's residences in Hesperia and Apple Valley, California. I'm in Victorville, so literally Hesperia's on this side of me, Apple Valley's on this side of me.
Nice.
They're just gonna say, JJ, keep it on the down low for just saying.
That's all I'm gonna say about that.
You could just protest in front of their house. Why not?
Right?
Even though I don't like him, I can still call a match. I can
Push Wardlow's side.
No more Young Bucks. No more Young Bucks.
Just march around in their driveway with a Push Wardlow sign. Okada deserves better.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just
Look
gonna
at
say
Jeff.
this. I'm just gonna say
Jeff's
this real
having
quick.
convulsions. Look at him.
James. No. Put me back in a wide shot. I need to talk to James for a second. Stop.
Oh no.
You need to stop putting ideas in JJ's head. You need to knock that shit off.
You're in trouble.
It's a
bad
funny
for that.
idea.
No.
It's a funny idea.
I just
No.
said
Just peacefully protesting. What's the problem?
Motherfucker, who are you talking to? Peaceful protesting. What's the matter with you? What the fuck are you talking about? You and your damn Boston Bruins hat. Fuck out of here with that shit.
Listen. It's a funny idea. You're just peacefully
No.
protesting. It's fine.
Let's just also say this. We're all going to be doing our own thing during Anarchy in the Arena because it's not a wrestling match. It's literally go do shit.
Yeah.
Anarchy in the Arena is called a brawl for all, but it's not a failure of a brawl for all.
No.
Yeah.
It actually works. It's actually pretty damn entertaining and crazy. I actually have enjoyed them.
They should actually just like potato each other, but not like potato each other to the point.
Well,
of concussion.
hopefully this time it doesn't.
That's my only
involve a
thing.
Plexiglass.
You're talking
shit.
about Idaho, Russets, Red. What are you talking about?
I'm actually talking about Pringles and Lay's.
Oh, Lays. Oh, Lays. I like that commercial.
Oh, Lays, oh, Lays, oh, Lays, oh, Lays.
I need Lays now.
Oh, Lays, oh, Lays.
Note to self, put Lays potato chips on Amazon list.
There it is.
The classic
You are not
the
tired of
rails.
our skit.
I
You
only
love it.
do classic Lays. Fuck y'all's flavors. Classic is the best. It's OG.
Bro, hey, listen, don't you dare disrespect my habanero flavor like that.
You are a weird dude, James.
I think the train has derailed, JJ.
I'm
Get it back,
autistic.
get it back.
My best friend's autistic. God bless you.
Gesundheit.
Oh, for love of Pete. And with that, time to roll.
What the fuck?
We need a credit reel. We need a credit
Use
reel.
my daughter against me. How
That's
dare you.
right. That's right, I did.
And of course, we'll see her on the next karaoke night where you're all going to piss me off beyond all belief.
I don't know. Will she be on the karaoke when we do it, Jude?
Possibly.
You used my daughter against me.
What are you, a fucking piece of shit?
Yep, I am a flu-ridden fucking piece of shit.
Noah, you're the Tony Khan, but you're the one that keeps putting your foot in your mouth with the karaoke stuff. So don't blame us.
I didn't say anything. I'm not suggesting nothing. I know you crazy motherfuckers aren't going to use your money on vacation. That'd be too much like, right, you're going to use it to make me see some weird-ass bullshit from the 80s. Whether it's some lame-brain song from an Austin Powers movie or something I might care about from Scarface or some jagged-out heavy metal hair-weaving weird-ass band, some over-glorified diva, doggone dumb nonsense. Y'all gonna come up with all sorts of stupid shit.
God damn. Well, that takes one set of promotions down.
No, we'll still be doing that. So Emmanuel, ask Arlene if she would like to hear Noah sing "Careless Whisper."
The fuck? Wait, that was in the 80s? Oh, God bless it.
Yeah.
Hey, and since Aaron Judas all out of heaven and play on the saxophone, we should have Noah do it on the damn karaoke night.
The fuck?
Now we'll all just sit here in the comments on stage going. "Doo, doo, 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 doo."
Why?
You fuckers is why I need to come around every Saturday. This is why I come back around for this shit.
Why do
Right
I
here.
keep enduring this every quarter?
Why not?
Why not?
Arlene,
Because it's off the
Arlene.
rails again.
It's always
Arlene,
off the rails.
do you want to hear Noah sing Careless Whisper?
Stop it!
You want to hear
Stop
him
it!
sing Take On Me?
No, shut it, JJ! God.
Do you want to hear him sing Every Rose Has Its Thorn?
That's my shit, actually.
Yes.
I don't recognize that title.
It's from Poison, dude.
I barely know Poison.
Or maybe, what's another good one for him to do?
We need
For
to
the
stop.
80s?
Poison.
Ooh,
I barely
Prince.
Ivy.
We need to cut this
Have
off.
him break out some Prince. Little Red Corvette or Raspberry Beret. Can you find at a secondhand
Bed of
store?
Roses, 80s?
Which
I think
song?
it is. Bed of Roses.
From Bon Jovi? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
80s.
That's 80s.
Yeah.
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 Hell, if you want to do Prince, just do Kiss. You can do that version or the Tom Jones version. He's good either way.
What the fuck is happening here? Trying to create a Spotify playlist of 80s hits. This is ridiculous.
Oh, I already have one.
Oh, God bless it.
I will post it in the. You know what? Since you mentioned it, I will post it in the group chat right
I'm not
now.
listening to it. No.
Yes,
I'm not.
Yes, you will.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you
Yes,
will.
you will.
No, you can't.
I know you will because you're gonna enjoy it.
A lot of Michael.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, God. George Michael defined the 80s. He was one of
Michael
the
Jackson, I think, is what he meant.
Jackson, man.
I mean, if you want to sing George Michael songs, you're welcome to do that too.
No, I'd rather do neither. But I know I'm going to be freaking on the blunt end of a super chat while I'm playing Mario.
Hell, you can sing Last Christmas during this time of year because I don't have to worry about it like before Christmas Eve. But you know, I'm just saying.
Why on
Do
earth
you
would
at
any-
home? You know, hold on.
Oh fuck! Here we go.
Do you at home want to hear the Simple Man Noah Foster sing "Don't Stop Believin'"?
Yeah.
Journey? What? Come on, man! The freaking they're using that.
Yes. Yes.
They're using
Do it,
evils
do
against me that I actually can appreciate because, damn it, Journey and Genesis is my shit.
Ah, he admitted it.
Oh, Genesis was your shit. Would you like to hear Noah sing "Land of Confusion"?
I'll sing the Disturbed version.
Ladies and gentlemen, Noah's Foot.
I told you.
He's got the Tony Khan effect.
You are the
Would you
Tony
like to
Khan of
hear
our
Noah-
group, man.
Would you like to hear Noah sing "I Can Hear It Coming in the Air Tonight"?
Oh no!
That drum drop.
We don't have a Mike Tyson to punch you in the face, though.
We might come that night because Tyson might have his ass knocked out by then.
Let's hope not. I hope not. I don't want.
I
don't
really
want
hope
Baltimore.
people are broke. It's the summer. Spend your
Why
money.
do you? Okay. Wait.
Why do you think we're giving them ideas now? It gives them an opportunity to save.
Don't save. You get your vacation planned out. Go to the
They've
beach.
literally got about a month to save, Noah. Look at that. June 15th. It is May.
Fuck!
We're still saving for the Corrupt Noah fund.
Look,
Yes.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. Me in Vegas on Easter weekend.
Madonna.
Oh God.
Have Noah Foster singing "Like a Virgin."
Oh dear
Feel
God!
good.
my God.
Papa Don't Preach.
Or like
La
a prayer.
Isla Bonita.
Like a prayer.
Actually, I think that was 90.
I think so,
That
too.
was 1980s.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it was?
Yep.
You are the religious one. Like prayer. Just take me there.
Can we please just close this thing out?
You don't want to Vogue, Noah?
Oh God. Oh, okay. All right. If somebody spins Vogue for him, we gotta get choreography involved in this. We
Vogue
have to.
was
No,
90s.
no.
I didn't mean just from you.
There is
Vogue
no
was
choreography
90s.
happening from this guy on
Vogue
Vogue
air.
was 90s. Was it really?
It was
I think it was like
1990
92 or
straight up.
Oh, bummer.
But we can, if we want to get choreography involved, we can get Noah to do a little Paula Abdul.
Oh, there you go.
Little Janet Jackson. Have Noah
Rhythm
break out
Nation?
some Rhythm Nation.
And we know that's 80s because that damn song made our spines curve hearing it on KRJ, Jay. So we know that's 80s.
That's 80.
Some bullshit.
This is straight up bullshit. Oh, this is bullshit.
Sledgehammer for Peter. Dude, you all in the chat room are as evil as us, and I am here for every fucking bit of it.
Stop using freaking stock.
Don't. Yeah. Say something else. Go ahead.
We're going to go ahead and run Noah's favorite commercial one more time.
Yes.
And when we come back, we will get to the
Turf
shells
and
and get
blessing.
out of here.
Damn it.
And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Freaking 80s nightmares aside. At least we're freaking right. All right. All the wrestling, 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 all the professional wrestling. Damn it! What the hell are they thinking about with wrestling?
All the 80s, all the 80s,
Now, enough
all
of
the
the
80s.
80s.
All the...
Cut this thing off.
Noah, read Emmanuel's comment.
No.
Oh,
Somebody
you
throw Toto Africa at him, too.
There
you go.
Stop mentioning songs. Enough.
Toto Americana?
No.
Stop the madness. Stop it.
Bless the rings, Noah. Bless the rings.
End this thing, JJ.
Well, you know, Stacy's mom used to be Jesse's girl. Her name is Jenny, and her number is 8675309.
Oh God, that song was stuck in my head for years, and I fear I still know it verbatim.
And Stacy's on a vacation
I
far
actually
away.
once knew a girl named Jenny. She did not have that number, thank Christ.
I heard Stacy's got legs, but that's in the 2000s. So we don't talk
So if
about
y'all want to hear Noah's take on those songs, you can tune in on June 15th.
Or be on
Take
vacation.
on those songs.
Go get a tan at your local beach.
Beach? Beachy said JJ?
Oh no.
Sure, there's beach songs, you know, maybe a trip down to Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I wanna take it.
Or you can also save your money for August when we have our beach party karaoke.
Stop it! Damn it, earworm! Stop it!
And you have to do the Muppets version.
Oh,
damn right.
Damn scared. There you go. That's it.
I
my
am not.
God.
I am not going to be throwing here. Stop it.
We may end up unleashing broken Noah Foster.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Yeah, that'll be the day I learn.
Wonderful.
Moonlight's not on a piano. That'll be the day. Then I will lose my mind.
Toto Africano, I knew you'd come.
Oh my God, James! Fuck! There's no way we can say anything better than that. Let's do it still. Jesus Christ!
Delete! 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 Delete!
He deleted it. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh shit! I got deleted. Fuck!
All right. He wasn't here tonight, but go follow the Cleveland combatant, Josh Mansfield, on Twix at Walking Hymnal, on Instagram at MallowManGram. Go follow No DQ's resident Big Baller G. Big Baller G 1988 on TikTok. No DQ _ Big Baller G on Twix. NoDQ_BigBallerG1988 on Instagram and Threads. If Threads is still a thing, I don't know. Go follow Datilla at Rangers of Wrestling on YouTube, where you can check all of her content out. Walter.
Yeah, follow me on X at Walter Alex Cruz, the business Instagram, Cowfire Farms, the YouTube at Rage of Wrestling, which the next UFC watch along is Saturday, June 1st. So that's coming around the corner.
Okay.
Watch alongs are coming around the bend.
You can always find me on Instagram, the Renegade JJ Williams, on Twitter at ROWJJ Williams. Follow me and watch me troll people.
Oh God.
No, normally I don't condone trolling. I usually try to stay away from it, but the segment, the contract signing this week between Mercedes and Willow, just glorious opportunity to make a GIF, which I did, and I got replied to by Mercedes.
Yes.
There you go. You gotta like her now, JJ.
Who else will get to reply and get on the bad side of me? Just gonna have to follow me and find out, and then of course follow me on YouTube, Casa D18 Studios. Thank you to everybody that's watching there right now, and all 62 of you that are still watching these shenanigans. That's 62 people that may be super chatting for your misery come June 15th, Noah.
Curse all of you.
God bless the rains down and
Got him, Walter!
You were here earlier. Follow Bad Boy and Dory Lou on Facebook. Their names, Dory Lou Hathaway and Mike Caldwell. On Twitter, at Hathaway Lou and LB Stat Kid 1977. On Instagram at Dory Lou and Statboy 13. All right, we've got our buddy Greg Cherry at the Greg Cherry. You can follow him on all those things. And as he said, he's got a huge guest lined up for next month.
Yes.
You're going to have to stay tuned for when he decides to drop that information and see who it will be.
Yes.
James.
You can find me on the YouTube and Twitter at JHebert795 and on Facebook at JMN Multiverse. I do really cool and dumb things on the internet.
So yeah, go subscribe, go watch the shit. You can also check out my YouTube channel with all my theme edits. May well come back, so that might be a cool thing. Go check that out.
Maniac, and he needs to be freaking restrained.
No, you will not restrain me. I let me spread my wings like a butterfly. Check out my recent Jay Hebert side of things. Everything will be updated in about a week's time. I'm actually going to be recording the next Jay Hebert side of things tomorrow, so stay tuned on that. Check out the Gary Hebert trailers, One in a Million's original trailer documentary, and the speech trailer called one of the best speeches in the history of sports. Go check that out right now. Both are available on the Gary Hebert YouTube channel.
Did you say "Let You Be Free"? Are you saying that you're free falling? Another song that they can sing? Know what it's saying?
Yes.
Damn it! Enough.
Noah, we won't back down from all this.
No. Jack,
never gonna give it up. Never gonna back.
That is my favorite paradox, the Astley paradox.
Oh, totally.
Y'all know about the Astley paradox, right?
All right, guys,
Yeah.
we're gonna have Noah at least do his catchphrase because you gotta have. Let's not have
Yeah.
rage.
Yes.
Noah.
Been a pleasure as always, you crazy buffoons. Hey, and that includes all of you in the chat and your wallets too. Damn you. Follow me if you choose, though, and the Twitter primarily, and YouTube. Adam Foster 1916 for all things wrestling. Again, shout out, of course, to my entire ATW fans on the Twitter and social media platforms. The Sybil YouTube channel is the main hub where you'll find updates regarding all the latest videos I always collab the JMN Multiverse of Media with, including my flagships to be predicting. There will be 2 of them this week. Date and times to be determined. community tabs where you'll be updated with community forums, as well as give your own simple assessments towards all the biggest pay-per-views and PLEs we cover here at JMN Multiverse of Media. For we do this, and I do this with all of them, because I sure as hell don't care about singing, but I am nothing more but I am nothing more but a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling, damn it, who only wishes to encourage you as always. There are no winners, no losers, no betters. Just fans with opinions with this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too. Treasure your families, no matter how much they piss you off. And just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It is truly as simple as that. And I will see you all some point this week on the watch-alongs and Simply Predicting.
There you go, my friend.
All right, Jeff. I hold on. Move Walter real quick. I extend my hand to the hot tag so that you can run through all of your graphics.
Yes. All right. Very good. All right. And I got them queued up over here, so I'll go ahead and clear my throat from the remnants of the phlegm. And we'll get right to it. All right. So tomorrow, nothing scheduled as far as I know from any of us. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and we'll clear it up in a minute. Monday, we'll be going live. Let me get the QR code down. I've given the family the rub for now.
QR code now.
Scan that QR code.
Scan that QR code.
It'll be back momentarily. Meet Your Musings Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific, prior to Monday Night Raw. Will be all about milestones, moments, mysteries, and magic as we talk about what's coming up for the week across the multiverse of media. Stat Boy Sports Bar, as we mentioned earlier, will be live also at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific on Tuesday, the 21st. The NFL schedule was finally released, despite rumors that it was going to be released earlier and all the Twitter talking nonsense. That'll be also Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. Canary will be joining Greg Cherry, Matty Laws, and very likely myself. It just depends on timing, getting home from school pickup. But Greg Cherry Show will be live Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. Now, here's where things get fun, because I don't have proper updated information, but I will do my best based on what I know. Thursday is the 20th anniversary of Over the Edge 1999, and it has been decided amongst the group of us that we will be conducting a retro watch-along event of both that event on Thursday and the following night on Friday, the 24th, of Raw is Owing. Between scheduling involving our outside of wrestling lives and the fact that Noah and JJ and company have Simply Predicting for 2 pay-per-views this weekend, the coming weekend, we will definitely have all those times for Simply Predicting, Over the Edge, and Raw is Owen are time to be determined. We will work that out probably as soon as we sign off the stamp show, and we'll work all that shit out, and we'll let you guys know in the morning. But after Friday, we continue with the We're Gonna Die tour. Yes, still, even now, 18 different nights scheduled of watch-along events between now and the end of 2024. And it all begins Saturday morning, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, because they're in Saudi Arabia. WWE hates us and wants us to get up ass early on a weekend. King and Queen of the Ring will be on.
True.
And we'll be doing our, it's very true. Are you kidding me? They watch, they know.
Damn true.
It's very real. But we'll be live covering King of the Ring, along with Walter Cruz will be on with us, because that is his jam. He'll be on with us as well. We'll have a guide, of course, that night. And then Sunday, AEW returns where it all began with Double or Nothing, the 5th annual Double or Nothing, and that'll be Sunday night, May 26th. I think we're going to have to go live at like 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 Eastern, just to get everything covered and be on the air before they are.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's so much that you guys got to do. Oh, my God.
And that's okay. And then on top of all that, we're going to finish off May strong as JJ and I return with the Dads and Always on Wrestling's ranking of the top 10 matches contested in the 45-year history of the WWE Intercontinental Championship. That'll be Friday, May 31st. Again, time to be determined on that as well. And as has been mentioned, much to Noah's chagrin, our next opportunity for karaoke and special theme night shenanigans here on Open Mic Night will be Sunday night, June 15th, 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific, not right after, but the night of Clash at the Castle, Scotland. Dude, we should probably get some Scottish songs that night, just for shits and giggles. You know what? I'll tell you what. If somebody wants to super chat it, we will make sure that Noah sings Real American, because that is an 80s song, brother.
Mm-hmm. You don't realize, Noah, we get you time after time.
Wait, real quick though, I will say that having him sing Real American after what Hogan's been accused of might be a bit weird.
Okay, fine. Well, James, to be fair, if I could turn back time, I would eliminate that statement from my records.
Or he could, or he could just wear his sunglasses at night.
Oh God!
You know what the problem is? Sometimes he does wear his sunglasses at night. We've seen
that's when you know he's pissed off.
Wait a minute. I think I just had a Tiffany epiphany.
Oh God!
Clash of the 80s or Tiffany Stratton?
Clash of the Castle is June 15th.
Correct.
Karaoke is June 15th.
Correct.
Highlander took place in Scotland.
No!
Queen did the soundtrack for Highlander.
Yes, they did.
There's got to be a song from there that we can get Noah to do, man.
Hey, Noah, get your kilt ready.
Give me the prize, Princes of the Universe, something. I don't want to live forever. There's got to be a Queen song from Highlander we can get the pledge goal, if you will, for Noah to do to tie into Clash at the Castle.
I will work on that information in the next coming weeks.
I'm gonna do like a whole montage of like Noah in black and white by the end of the highlight reel next year.
Queen is my
I already was black and white one time. I was timeless while y'all were on a whole different tangent.
True.
Who wants to live forever?
Hey, Princes of the Universe is my shit, though.
That's a damn good song. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a great song.
It is on the Disney Plus concert that they remastered in IMAX from their concert in Montreal, so you can always watch that and get the knowledge down.
Music is meant to just be listened to. I just do commentary for fuck's sake.
See, Noah he's got such a headache from us that he needs a painkiller.
What?
Judas Priest. That's 80s.
That night will be a kind of magic.
Oh my God! You
That was the Queen Highlander.
No,
Noah doesn't know. Y'all know, but
darkness
got dark.
Darkness falls across the land. The end of the show is close at hand.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
That's not an 80s one. I was doing Thriller, but okay.
Hey, Noah, don't lose your head.
Keep going, and Noah won't come around here no more.
Oh no, we got the Avatar now. Oh shit. We got the muted Avatar. We've gone to the bad place.
He's gonna change his name. I'm waiting for the name.
Oh, he just dashes. He's dashed away from us. Oh no!
The whole thing's been dashed away.
All he hears is Radio Gaga.
Oh my God!
He did that one last year. He did that one last year. It's in that video package. He's going, what the fuck song is it? That was tremendous.
It was me that didn't do it.
Yeah. Oh Jesus!
That's the take from the video, Noah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's good shit. All right, I think we can end there. We're not gonna get any better than that.
Bye, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Oh no! Oh no!
Toriano!
Not Toriano! Anything but Toriano!
You know it's bad when we make Noah pull out a picture of Toriano, his most
I think
arch
Noah
nemesis.
wants us to beat it.
I swear to God, Walter.
Because we're bad. We're bad.
This is definitely a thriller.
Oh my God! All right, I'm about to piss my pants. Now you're actually gonna piss me off, literally.
Noah Foster's not like singing. He's just a commentator, just a wrestling fan. And we
Good night,
done gone
everybody.
pissed him off.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.